Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Natural Chats with the natural one, Zach Reynolds. But what's different is I'm actually running this as Zach Hyde by my real name because I want this to be separate to my sort of wrestling career and all that sort of stuff. I want this is a little personal project for me. Am I expecting it to take off? Maybe. I'm doing it for a bit of fun for myself. And look, I'm just going to get straight into it. I got someone with me who you may not have heard of. You may have heard of. He runs a really cool YouTube channel. He actually used to be my drumming teacher, which is hilarious. But yeah, I'm looking forward to a good natural chat, and we'll bring him in. How you going, Mr. Braidan Parker?
Good mate. How are you?
Oh, living the dream, mate, and the hot little hot house, little sauna. But yeah, it's good. Can't complain too much.
Hot house.
Yeah, it is, mate. It's disgusting here at the moment.
I think every house is a hot little hot house here in Queensland.
It is. Like, we got the aircon, and whenever it rains, it doesn't want to work for us. And it's like a proper one attached to the house, and the real estate just hasn't come and sorted it out yet, which is great fun. So, aircon's not been working. Other than yesterday for like all day.
Now.
Sorry?
Must have been loving it in the storm just now.
Well, see, I was on the south side for work. So, I was on the south side. So, and where I was, even yesterday, it was like flooding. So, I had to be real careful because I'm just in a big van, really. So, I had to be real careful with what I was doing. But yeah, look,
with that. I really understand on the phone. I when you talking to me today, I was like, "Are you living in your van?"
No. So like,
I drive. What are you talking about?
For my job, I drive an unmarked van. So it's just a big white van, really. And I drive to banks, and then I've got. So when I was talking to you, I was trying to kill time because I'm not allowed inside that bank till 3. So I had to wait till 3 before I could go in, and then do what I need to do inside the bank as part of the job. And then I go.
So much more sense.
Yeah, so like I go to 3 banks a day for what I do. So like I'll go in, and then businesses drop a bag into the banks, and then I pull the bags out, count them, separate them because there's a check part and a cash part. I give the bank the check part. I put the cash part into a bag for the big boys to come and pick up the next day.
So what you're telling me is you want to do a GTA heist?
No, very much not. But yeah, I'm currently waiting for the firearms license, and then I'll go across to a more, just basically wearing what I'm wearing now, and going out and doing it.
But, that's sick. How long have you been doing that for?
Been doing about 3 months this part while I wait for a firearms license, but the government takes a while for weapons licensing to sort their stuff out. So
that's such a random job.
It is. So
I've never heard of that ever.
It's only ANZ, but for now anyway, I think they try and get more contracts on. But yeah, no.
Did you just apply for it online?
So this one was I did the course, and then I had my trainer who I'm tight with send me some Seek links to both Arm Guard and Prosegur. Applied for both. Let them know that hey, I don't have my firearms license yet, but I'm in the process. Dude from Point to Point, which is Arm Guard's sister company, picked me up and said, hey, did the interview, got approved, and then went, while you wait for this, I'll tee up Armor Guard, which is literally, they're all one big thing, and you can do some stuff on site and the bag splits. And then, yeah, that's just while you wait. So now I'm just waiting, and then I've got a guaranteed job waiting for me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's not bad.
That's so sick. Have you done your gun license yet, or do you just?
So I'm just waiting to get the actual license itself. So I've put the application in, paid the money, done everything I need to do, done the course, and then just got to get the license now.
Did you go and do like clay targeting? Was that part of it?
No. So you go in and you do like. The trainer just had like real guns but no bullets in them, and you practice with that stuff.
Really?
Yeah. So we were practicing with Glocks, and then we also did the theoretical part, which is a bunch of, because you need to know the law behind it, all the sort of stuff within it.
All the safety stuff. And all that
stuff. Like the logistics, and then like how the law affects it, and what you can and can't do, because we're not police, so we're still restricted with what we can and can't do on that. Then you got buttons and handcuffs that you need to learn as well.
So
And
is
yeah,
it through
so
the
on and so on.
company that you did it?
No. So I did it through Asset College at North Lakes. They do
Okay,
like
yeah,
so
sweet.
many different courses. So they're the ones who I did my initial security course through, and then this is obviously this one now. And then at the end of it, they take you to a range where you shoot a semi-auto pistol, a revolver, and a shotgun. Yeah, so that was pretty fun. Shotgun was full on. That was pretty cool. Because some jobs require you to have a shotgun, so that just sits next to you.
Shotguns are fun.
They are. They're good fun. They're good fun.
That's why I asked, because I've been clay targeting a couple times
Yeah.
and just been like, it's good fun.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I've actually got the assessment sheets right here because I got the best in class. So they're just sitting there like, damn right, most accurate. Let's go.
Was it a class of one?
Ha! No, I think it was like 10 people in the class, 10, 12 people. Well, they generally pack out the classes. So
That's good.
yeah, it's not too bad that way. What's going on here? So obviously, we'll go back to how we first started, which is obviously you were my drumming teacher, which was funny how it all sort of turned out. Because you used to go to the school and your dad's a teacher there. So was he a teacher
That's
there when
correct.
you were a student there?
Yeah, bro. My mum was a teacher there. My dad was a teacher there. My brother was teacher aide there. It was a whole charade.
So how was that for you,
It
having your
was,
whole family being around you non-stop?
Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah.
It was rough because I had my mum as my science teacher. She was like a fill-in. It's funny, there's a few people that know this story, but it's a good story. But basically, science lab, everything's changed at the school now. So what was the
Yeah,
science
it's crazy
lab is not
now.
the science
Yeah.
lab. But for anyone who was there prior to all the changes, there was the science lab, and then I don't know. I had science, and we were doing anatomy and like sex ed and all that fun stuff.
Yep.
And I was in grade 10, and it was, I don't know if I'm allowed to say the teacher's name, but there was another female teacher's name. I won't name who it is. Well, let's call her Mrs. K.
Yep.
And my mum, and they were like tag team teaching.
Right.
So my mum and Mrs. K walk in, and I'm like, oh God, no, not my mum. And then it was on a day that at the time I thought my girlfriend was away.
Oh.
And then we all came in and sat down. I was like, this is gonna be terrible. Next minute, my girlfriend walks in and sits down in the class. She's just like, oh, how's it going? I was like, not good. Look who's here, my mum. And then they're like, all right, guys, today we're going to be talking about the reproductive system and where it goes and what it does. And I was like, no, fuck no, please, God, no. And then my mum's looking across the room and she goes, oh, hi, Brady, how's it going today? Oh, you probably don't want me in here, do you? And I was like, no, please leave. I don't want to be here. And then Mrs. K was like, I don't understand the problem. And then she like started reading through like the day's work and she was like, oh shit. And I was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm out. I was like, fuck this shit. So I was like, yeah, I need a break and go to see the counsellor. So I ducked straight out of there. I think we got to like 10 minutes in of like, so when the boy gets whatever, something might happen. And when that happens, it triggers this. And I was like, no, fuck, I'm out. And then for like weeks, every time my girlfriend would be over, my mum would be like, hey, Bray, do you remember that time I was in your class and we were learning about, and I was like, shut up. But, yeah, so that's like, it's just an average day.
Yeah, right.
Good old MMCP with me mum. And then me dad, that was like in grade 10. I think I had my dad in like grade 12. Primarily, he was my maths teacher in grade 12.
Yeah.
And that was interesting as well because we butted heads a lot. So it'd be like, my dad would say something and I'd be like, how can I get a reaction out of the class?
Oh no.
In order to make myself laugh, make the class laugh, and make him look dumb.
Oh no.
And so
I know your dad too.
as
He
far
wouldn't
as
like
like,
that at all.
no, he didn't. Let's just say I went to the principal's office more than once. So
To
I remember
basically
twice.
stop giving your dad shit. Because
Yeah,
I'm assuming it was the
basically.
same principal that I started off with.
Yeah, Mr. Puglisi.
Yeah.
I assume is that who you had?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's who I started off with. So I could only imagine that he would have been like okay with it, but like, come on.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing though, right? So obviously he remembered having me in his office being like, "No, Braidan, you can't be doing this to your father, let alone any teacher." And then fast forward like 4 years, and I'm like, "Hey, can I have a job?" And he was like, yeah, I don't know about that." I was like, "Oh, come on, I'm a nice guy." And he's like, "What do you bring?" And I was like, "I don't know, drums." And then when I started, because when I used to have lessons at school, I used to pay like $30 a half hour.
Hmm.
And when I started there, I was like, all right, I'll be nice. I'll do like 15, $20 for a half hour. And he was like, no, you're gonna be doing like $8 for a half an hour. And I was like, bro, it's not even worth me coming here for $8.
Jesus.
And he's like, all right, I'll let you do it for $10 for a half an hour. And then if it works and kids enjoy it, then he's like, oh, then I'll let you charge $15. I was like, you don't get to choose how much I charge. But he did. Otherwise, I wouldn't have worked there.
Well, because they wouldn't have, did they get a cut of that, or was that all yours?
No, it was all mine.
That's right.
But still, it's a strange setup.
I think it was more weird when they sent us to the primary school to start doing it.
Yeah, that was strange.
And then that just didn't add up. Because like it was in the side room of of their like hall, and it was weird because like we had it in the
banned from.
Hey,
like MMCP, remember? Like they would like. How many times do you remember MMCP using that hall?
A fair few. They used to use their like for their drama stuff. Yeah, they started doing all their like theatre drama stuff out of there. I think it only happened once while I was there, but they were teaming up to do more, from what I remember. So I don't think they ever banned from it, but yeah, I don't know.
I just remember when I was at school, we were never allowed to use it.
Yeah, okay.
But anyway, that's why we built that big undercover tennis court thing. But that's all right. That's neither here nor there. But yeah, so essentially, they had like these two rooms, one here, and then the big hall, and there'd be like dance classes and stuff happening.
And then didn't we get told to like quiet down at one point as well, or something? Like I remember I was like almost getting in trouble, and like what do you? I think that's why they moved us in the first place, because originally you had like the music room, and then you had like the little side room where we were, and then for whatever reason we moved. You probably know I don't. And then we went into like the right room of the hall, and then they moved us from the right room to the left room. Because I remember I went in there one day and I'm like, why are the drums going? What the fuck's going on? Like, obviously this is the time to do it. And then they're like, oh, we're over here now. And I'm like, why are we changing so much? Like, why does it matter what room we're in? Like, it was so...
that drum kit was still there?
No.
They left that drum kit there. Yeah, so when I went back to work...
Was it the schools or was it the primary schools?
No, it was remember it is. But because they changed so many music teachers, like the first one kind of forgot, and then the next one forgot a little bit more. And then I was back there in 2018, and they were like, oh yeah, so we went and got that drum kit. And I was like, what do you mean, bro? I've not been here in like 4 years. And they were like, yeah, I guess they just didn't move it.
Well, because I know we had...
So...
The first teacher I had when I rocked up, he wasn't there for long at all. He got booted out pretty quick. But he ended up at my old primary school, which was hilarious, that I found out when I went for my grade 10 like work experience. I went and worked at my primary school as a PE teacher.
Which is?
Holy Spirit. Yeah. And then...
That's where I went.
So yeah, he was there. And I'm like, oh, crap, okay. So he was doing that. I can't remember if he was a music teacher or not. I think he was, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
And then obviously Peace came in. And I think he's still there now, from memory. I could be very wrong, but I thought he was.
Yeah, he's still there. He's chilling. He's
yeah.
Cool.
So like he was, and he was probably the main one that I was actually, when I was doing the lessons, was the teacher. So he should have known, because he brought his personal kit in for us to use in class.
Well, they've got 2 kits there now. They've got like the new kit, and then like the old new kit, and then the kit that they took out of the hall is just like chilling in one of the storage rooms, but it's still there. That thing's like 25 years old.
I mean, it wasn't horrible though.
No, it's the best one there. Honestly, if they fix that up, I would play that old kit before I would play the other 2 kits.
Pieces is good.
It's just
the thing is with
nice.
Pieces, and I know because he used to get up, is he used to take all the good stuff away from it, because obviously he used to be in a band and all that stuff. So he used to just his old raggedy ones, or just he didn't let us play the splash, or he'd just take things.
I mean, can't blame him.
No,
just break stuff.
No, that's fair, especially the way, I want to say I play, but probably the way you taught me to play.
Heavy?
Yeah. I put it this way. They're the funny part about that is they're like, oh, we're going to have like soundproof rooms. I was the one who found that they weren't soundproof, because Peace is like, yep, you already broke the soundproofing. Good job. Well, all right, I'll take it.
It's like my soundproof in here. We just stuck a door up and was like, yep, sweet.
Well, no, because they tried to put like actual stuff in there to make it soundproof, but whether or not I was just...
I think it's more for like bouncing, but I don't know. It's better than nothing. It's better than what they did have. When I went there, it was a brick room, and now
that's what we started off in.
Man Arts.
Yeah. Well, that's what you and I started up when we first started. We had that tiny little fucking room.
Yeah. I mean, it was good. Served a purpose. I learned how to play drums in that room every morning before school.
Well, there you go. Like, so you obviously you stopped that after a while. So what did you end up doing from between there? Like, what made you stop?
Why I stopped doing drum teaching? I hated it.
Oh, really? Oof. Fuck.
Yeah. Nah, look, it's not you. It's just there was like
I knew some of the kids that you were teaching, so I'm sure that I can understand why you were enjoying it so much.
You know Ben.
Yeah.
He's like, so he was awesome. You were awesome. And then there was just like, I don't know, you do something long enough, and like if the pay's not there and you're not enjoying it, at some point it just kind of burns out.
Yeah.
And I think for me, I had envisioned growing kind of like, not a music school, but kind of just like a music brand, I guess. So I wanted to get in at Mount Maria. I tried to get in at Our Lady of the Way, and they knocked me back.
Oh, really?
I went and had like interviews and stuff. Yeah, I went through like this. I think I had like six or 7 interviews there.
That's a lot of interviews.
Ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot.
It's like I had to have like a 45-minute interview just to use that hall. So the school, like Mount Maria, pushed us up there, which was fine. But then to use the hall, I had to get like checked by like I had to have like a police check done. I had to have like an interview on my character. I had to have like all these. I was in there talking to the principal and the deputy and someone else. And this is like back in 2013, 2012.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah, and like at that time, how old was I? Like 20.
No, 19 was on from memory.
Yeah, well, exactly. 19, 20. So I was like, I had no idea what I was doing. I was just like, okay, I guess that's just part of it. And then looking back now, because I went back and did drum teaching again in like 2017 for like 6 months.
So it would have been the year I left, just after graduating. Yeah.
Just after, yeah. And I didn't have to do any of that.
Yeah.
And I got paid properly, so it was much more enjoyable.
Still that hall though?
But yeah. No, so that was back then. They used the soundproof rooms in the new music room.
Oh, okay. They what? During classes though? Because I do remember they brought a different drum teacher guy in. I remember it wasn't for long. I don't think it was like for the year. I do remember it was either it was definitely drums.
Did he have dreads?
Maybe he wasn't any good.
Yeah. So there's. I don't want to talk shit on him, but
because like I would sit there, for whatever reason I'd be in that room when a class was going on, or I could see or hear whatever the fuck, and I'm there and I'm like, oh, this is horrible. Like, what's going on? And then I'd look, and it's the actual teacher playing the drums, and I'm like,
Maybe
Right.
he's just trying to play bad to make the student feel better.
Look,
I
I
used
don't
to
think
do
so,
that.
man. I don't think. I'd be like, here, play this song. You're like, all right, cool.
Yeah, that's true. That's pretty great. But no, I'm off track here. What happened? Why did I stop? Yeah, so basically, yeah, just burnt out on it, and then, what was I doing? All right, so what was I doing in between? So after I finished doing drum teaching, I went and slaved away at Costco for like 4 years.
I do remember this. Yes. Yeah, that wouldn't have been great, especially because it would have been when, from memory, that was when Costco first opened. So you would have been one of the first lot. So I could only imagine that everyone's like, "Oh, Costco!" Woof.
Yeah, dude. It was funny because when I initially told my brother to go for a job there
Declan.
because he was looking for work, and he got
Yeah.
no, next one up, Preston. So he went for work there, and then I was like, well, he's going for work there. I may as well go for work there just to give him some support.
Yep.
And then I ended up getting a job as well, and then I was working at Kmart at the time, and I was just like, I was walking out of Kmart one night, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm not coming back. And my boss was like, exactly. My boss was like, oh, okay, see you next week, Braidan. And I was like, nah, see ya. And then I just didn't go back.
Oh, that's great.
So, yeah, they treated me like garbage. They treat all their employees like garbage.
Well, my fiance was a Kmart worker, and yeah, look, she was someone who they really should have put as a manager, but never did. And any time she'd ask, it just fell on deaf ears. And it got to the point where she was getting like 3 hours, 1 day a week, and like this is when we're in our own sort of place. You know, we were just in a duplex, living under a mate's house.
Mm-hmm.
Not in our own house like we are now. And we're like, okay, radio, and like she's traveling from Petrie to Morayfield, and then back. So it's a decent distance on a train.
Morayfield's the worst one for it.
She said it was good when she was there, but as soon as it was, as soon as you get older, they just don't care anymore. It's the same as like, I was working at Hungry Jack's, and the older I got, man, at Hungry Jack's, they like did not care. Yeah. Then luckily I got picked up by Caltex, and that was alright.
So that's all the kids at school. I'm like, it's like you need to have something lined up because as soon as you finish grade 12, you need to have some sort of job outside of retail, unless you're like in their pants and they have like some god power that gives them hours and everybody's their golden child or some crap. You're getting 3 hours a week at best.
Yeah.
And the only time they'll call you is when they're like on the edge of like Christmas, everyone's called in sick and you're their last. Oh, can you please come into work? Or you don't want to come into work? All right, well, don't come in for the next month.
Yeah. Well, that became like such a problem as well with like Hungry Jack's because I was on part time, so I think I had to have a minimum of like 10 hours from memory, and that's all they gave me. And I was literally just there cooking the patties. That's it. Wasn't allowed to touch burgers. Wasn't allowed to do anything. And they're like, "Oh, you're too slow on burgers." I'm like, right, okay. So legitimately had someone time me for like the biggest burger, the smallest burger, like all that stuff, and I was beating the veterans because they'd race me on the other side, and I'm like,
yeah,
what's wrong now? He's like, go back to cooking patties.
Yeah, dude, nah, it's
like there's just some idiots, and then
it's like,
and then luckily, oh dude, it was ridiculous. So like from there, like I got picked up by Caltex, and I'm like, maybe I can work Caltex during the day, Hungry Jack's at night, and the dude I was with, he's like, I'd really prefer you just be ours. I'm like, cool, whatever gives me an excuse to leave a toxic environment.
Yeah, definitely.
So Caltex was alright. It became a lot worse, but that's because Caltex took over. Like we had a franchisee, wasn't looking after the store at all. Like I'd constantly have like reps coming out and like, hey, what's going on here? And I'm like, I don't know. Like I'm just the dude who works by. And got to the point there was like 3 main workers at that store, and we were basically helping run the store with the manager. And then Caltex bought it, and then so this is when I copped a mad concussion at wrestling, and I couldn't come in because obviously the mad concussion.
Good timing.
Oh, yeah. Perfect. Well, I
Dude,
don't know.
They don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. No, like no matter what happens, it's like it's your fault.
Well, so no, they weren't like that. So like, it was, we had a feeling something was up. Like it got to the point where I made the one who I was closest with, out of the group of guys, we literally bailed up the manager and said, "What the hell is going on? We can tell something's up. Like, what's going on? Like, are we losing our jobs? Like, what the hell's going on?" Because we could just tell there was something going on. He's like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't think anything's going on. I haven't been told anything. Cop this concussion. I have legitimately no short memory for 3 days at all. I was fucking fried. I'm asking the same questions over and over. And I'm like, because I was meant to work the next day, I'm like, hey, can you call them and say I can't go to work? The 3 days goes by. I've been in contact with them. I'm get the clear to go back. Have one shift back, and it was really weird. It was just really odd. And then I get home, and I wasn't rostered on. I'm like, okay, this is weird, because I was doing 5 days, even 6 days a week at that time. And I get a call, and they're like, hey, so Caltex has bought the store back, and they don't want you guys. And I'm like, oh, rightio. In my brain, I thought we would. And then I get a call from that other guy. He's like, hey, I called them to see what's going on. They've been asking for our details, but he wouldn't give it to them. I'm like, right, so he's here telling us, because he wasn't obviously happy that they were buying it back. Because Caltex was buying them all off franchisees, because eventually what ended up happening is now everything's Ampol. So, and then Caltex, of course, and they were lovely at the start. They were giving us everything we wanted. Like, the shifts that we were on, we were maintaining everything. They were trying to bring their own staff on. Like, yeah, that's all right. And then the moment those staff knew, like, caught up to speed,
how to do it,
poof, they were treating us like trash. I remember, so I'd always be working overnights, and I'd do my head in, because I can't sleep very well during the day, which, funnily enough, ended up doing a job that had to really work overnights. And I get a call, and they're like, oh, you didn't clean the coffee machine. I'm like, yes, I did. Damn well I know I did. Like, this is how sad it was. And they're like, no, you didn't. I'm like, did you check? Because there was something where they checked the cameras and I hadn't cleaned the inside of door of the coffee machine once. So I got in trouble for that. And then, then they call me and I'm like, did you check the cameras? And they're like, no, I don't need to. I know. And I'm like, well, obviously you don't, because, and this is as I'm trying to fall asleep. Like, this is, I get home about to pass out and they call me about this. And I'm like, no, I definitely did check the cameras. They're like, no. I'm like, whatever. Like, you guys are a bloody joke. You're just trying to screw us over anyway. The moment us three gave you what you guys wanted, you stuffed us over. I'm like, is that how it is? I'm like, yep, bye. Hung up. And then also got a call to come in with her and one of the higher ups, and wasn't welcome there anymore. Which then ended up happening to the other guy anyway. So it's funny how when companies get what they want, they're done with you.
Yeah, man. That's what it would be. Same thing at Kmart. Like, they'd get you to a point, and then they'd be like, oh, look, we've got this week of training coming up. We'd love you to come help train them. And so I wouldn't get any hours for like 3 months. Can't afford to go get another job because I was doing full-time uni at the time.
Yeah.
So then I'd come in for that 1 week, do the training, and be like, hey, look, I've got these skills. I've done the work. You know I can do the work. How's about maybe giving me some more hours or putting me on as a supervisor, giving me like some trial work in a higher position? And they'd be like, no, we got employees for that.
Wow.
See you next week. And it's like, well, okay. And then like just constantly being like at you, like you do something wrong. Or like I remember this one time I did like, it's called like facing up. So it's like you walk down the aisle and you pull everything forward.
No, very well.
So like I was good at it, but I remember that I was good, but I was slow. So like I'd do it methodically and
you'd almost try and do it too perfect.
Nice. Yeah, exactly. And then like my line manager would come past and be like, look everybody, look how shit Braidan is at his job. And I'd be like, what are you talking about? And she's like, well, it's 9 o'clock now, it's time to clock off and you've done 3/4 of what you needed to do. So everybody, let's come and have a look at Braidan's work. Oh, look, he hasn't done this, he hasn't done that. And I was like, you fucking...
That's workplace bullying at that point.
Yeah, dude. And at that time, I think I was like 17. And I was like, I don't need this.
Jesus.
And then, lo and behold, she was my manager when I went back there. Like,
Oh.
I think I went because after I quit Costco, I did some other stuff, and then I went back to Kmart for like maybe 2 months, I reckon.
Yeah.
And she was my manager there. I walked in the door and I was like, oh fuck this shit. So
That's hard.
essentially made like the $6,000 that I needed just to have something to get by with.
Yeah.
And then this chick was just teeing off on me one night, being like, Braidan can't do this, Braidan can't do that. And I was like, you're a fucking bitch. And then she was like, what did you call me? I was like, what? Nothing. And she was like, I heard what you said. I was like, what? You're a bitch. And she's like, get out. And I was like, all right, I'm not coming back. And that was at like 5 p.m., 6 p.m. on like a Saturday night, I think. It was like just after close, and we were like tearing all the boxes down and getting ready. And I was like, yeah, should never have come back here. Should have learnt my lesson the first time. This place sucks.
Oh man, that's horrid. Actually, speaking of something that just popped back into my brain, backtracking, how you said your mum was the one teaching you sex ed. Your dad was the one teaching me sex ed.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that it was only one lesson, and I think because everyone was just like teeing off on it, they're like, we're never doing that with this group ever again.
Dude, it's the funniest thing now, because now that I go back as not a teacher, but like a teacher aide worker there, and seeing like the stuff that they cover in classes, I'm like, man, there's so many opportunities for like funny stuff. And like some of the kids like pick up on it and they'll like say some hilarious things. But it's
and you've
like,
got to try not to laugh.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, what a wasted opportunity. I was like, man, if I was here, I'd be crushing this. And then I'll like come home and be like, "Oi, Lockie, listen to this." And he'd be like, "Oh man, what an opportunity! That would be awesome." But
was he still teacher aide?
Nah, he's doing a gardening service now. I wish I knew what his business was called.
Oh really? That's a very big change.
Yeah, he's getting out doing mowing and whippersnipper and all that fun stuff. It seems to be all the rage at the moment, but I mean, he's crushing it. He's been doing it for 6 months now, I think, and he's doing pretty well with it.
Yeah, I might have to talk to you about that later, because tee something up for somebody that I know who's looking for that sort of thing. Obviously, so like when I was in schooling, this is off top. It's on topic. It flows into the topic that I'm going into.
Okay.
So obviously, Lockie was a teacher aide, and
Yep.
you were still drum teaching at the time. And I'm not sure if you told me or if I was lucky enough to find it. Was Midnight Show.
Yeah, Midnight Show.
Want to explain that one?
Midnight Show.
Because like that, I think I only saw like 2 songs from you guys, and then it just was nothing. And then like you guys deleted all the videos and everything. I'm like, what the hell? Like this was good.
Yeah, dude. Nah, Midnight Show was sick. Most of my projects that either me or Lockie get into tend to be pretty awesome. Otherwise, we wouldn't do them. Not to float our own boat, but
yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, Midnight Show. That was with 2 of my mates from uni. I think we started that in 2000 and me and Lockie started like writing for it. I'd say in like 2010.
Yeah.
So we had like a catalog of maybe like I'd say 15 songs.
Yeah.
Just with like drums, guitar, vocals, and then like he bought like this thing. It's called a Korg synth, and it's like I think it's like 15 keys or something, but you could do like a whole bunch of cool stuff on it.
Yeah.
And a bass, and we kind of like dabbled with it. And then after I went and studied at JMC in 2011, at the end of I think I went to a party at the end of 2011, and I met this dude who played piano, and he was a cool guy, and I was like, I want to be this guy's friend.
Yeah.
So essentially I was like, well, I need someone who plays piano. This guy plays piano and he's pretty cool. So I ended up messaging him over the Christmas holidays of 2011, and I also knew this other guy from JMC who had been in a couple of bands with me, just like uni bands and different projects and such, who played guitar. He's a chillest dude ever. He's sick. But he was like a He's a guitarist,
Mm.
but he wanted to dabble in bass, and I was like, hey, I need a bass player. Why don't you come play bass for us? And then, in the span of like, I would say a month or 2 months, it went from being just me and Lockie to me, Lockie, and these two guys from uni, and we all just like clicked
Yeah.
really well.
Well, the music
Like,
was good, so it showed.
yeah, and that's the thing too. It's like the things that we had, me and Lockie, which were like, I was really proud of it. When those guys came on board and put their own like flavor on things, everything just kind of like exploded. Like it was sick. Like just an explosion of good stuff.
Yeah.
So we ended up, I think we gigged for, ooh, how long would it have been? I think we practiced. I would say we practiced for like maybe 6 months to get like our product, which was, I think we worked on 4 songs that were to be the EP, and then we had another 3 or 4 songs I think that we played at shows.
Yeah.
And then we used to play like just a random cover that was cool. So we used to play like The Killers or like some Jack White or something.
Yeah.
Which is where the name comes from. So Midnight Show is a song by The Killers.
Yeah.
It's off, I think, their second album. I should know that since I have them tattooed on me.
Yes.
But, you know.
Yes.
I'm a good fan, but I'm not a good fan. But yeah, so we gigged and played some shows with a bunch of cool bands, had a bunch of fun with it. And then, as most things do, you know, you do it for so long and then it either starts to fizzle or something else comes along and you go, I'm going to put my time into that. And then you slowly have less time for this thing and more time for this thing. And then just, I don't really, like, it just kind of, it was there and then slowly faded away. And then right before we had our EP done, it was like the choke point. And it was like, okay, we need to make a decision. Are we going to keep going with this? That may, like, the EP was going to cost us like $2,500, I think. So it was
cheaper
like,
than I would have thought.
do we drop to it? Well, it was, I think it was like
I mean,
the
back
EP
then,
and
though,
thing,
yeah.
and then we had to go and get it like printed and all that stuff as well. But it was like, do we pay that and possibly have it fizzle out, possibly go well? Which it could have. I mean, the music was sick and we were having a bunch of fun with it.
I think you had like 2 songs on YouTube and they were both dope.
Yeah, we had 2 on YouTube. I think back then there was another program called like Reverb Nation or Bandcamp or something. I think we had like 2 on there. And yeah, I mean, yeah, it was awesome. But like I said, it came to that head point and we made the decision that it was not going to continue. Because me and Lockie had other ideas of where we wanted to go with things. And that would lead you into the next thing, which is then Vaporize.
Yes.
Which, again, awesome music. I would say better. I would say...
Oh, definitely. 100%.
Different, but for what me and Lachlan were trying to achieve, that's where our hearts took us. You know, you got to go with your head and your heart, and for us, Midnight Show wasn't it. It was fun. It was awesome. I love all like that happened with it. But for us, Vaporize was that next step.
So where'd the name come from?
Vaporize?
Yeah. Because like, I remember you gave me an EP when it was done.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, it has a palm tree on it, a blue palm tree, and I'm like,
it's a cool palm tree.
Okay, it is a cool palm tree, and then I'm like, and the name's Vaporize, and I'm like, okay, and then like all the names of the songs, and I'm like, okay, I mean, all beautiful music, like they're still on my playlist to this day, and I'll show you something in a second, and yeah, it was just like, this doesn't correlate. But actually, speaking of which is actually really funny, is I actually got you guys a gig on a wrestling show that we were doing. And
that
I know
was one of the most memorable nights of my life.
Yeah, it was crazy. Because obviously the zoo,
that.
if anyone doesn't know, the zoo's a venue in Brisbane. And I would say it's pretty grungy. And it's where we were wrestling. And I remember at the time, because when we were wrestling, they used to have burlesque, and they were trying to just have that something extra special just on shows. And I know for this one in particular, like, hey, I need a band, and I'm like, actually, I know a couple guys, and teed that up, spoke to him, got it all done, and I remember your reaction, obviously, because obviously you hold the zoo to the higher regard. Is like, holy shit, we're about to play music at the zoo.
Legit.
Yeah, and you're like, holy shit, we're about to play music at the zoo. And I've still got a Snapchat of it to this day of you guys like rocking out on stage. It was awesome. It was really cool to see. And then you guys are like throwing out EPs like it's candy to the crowd. Because like at the start, the crowd didn't know how to take it. And then like you watch and they're all like loving it. I'm like, yes, dope. This is what I wanted to see. Because yeah, I know that was a really cool. That was cool for me to see it happen and be able to help set that up. I know you'd never been to a wrestling show before, let alone played a gig as Vaporize or played at the zoo. So how was that experience for you guys?
I mean, it was going into it was like really like I don't know. No, it was pretty. The event itself was like super surreal. Going into it, we were kind of like, just give it everything. We have no idea what this is gonna like. We didn't really know, you know. I'd seen like little featurettes that you'd done and chucked up on like Facebook or Instagram, and we kind of like did like a little bit of like background research on what you guys did. We didn't really know. Yeah, I know that, but like to what degree?
Yeah, how it was in terms of it. Yeah,
exactly. So anyway, we get in there, we set everything up, and everything was looking fucking really legit. And it was like a little. At first, it was a little overwhelming, because it was the first time just the two of us. And usually you have like the extra two people there to like feed off and stuff. But the first, because I think we played two sets. We played the first set that was like halfway through maybe, and then the second set was a bit later in.
I believe so, yeah. But, I mean, what was really cool is what you probably don't know. That was actually one of our biggest crowds at that venue too.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, it was like packed to the brim that night. Like it was full. We had a line around the corner. Like it was huge. It was a big show at that venue.
It was really freaking mental because when we played, we had like a freaking awesome time. It was, and like you say, the crowd didn't really know how to accept it. So the first half of the first set was kind of like a little hit and miss, but because we don't really give a shit and we're used to playing in my shed to nobody, we just go for it like 100% of the time. As long as we're having fun, everyone's having fun. But I remember during the second set, I looked off to the side, and I'm pretty sure, I can't remember if I have a video of it or if you sent me a video of it or something, but one of your mates, or one of the dudes that was wrestling there, he was just like thrashing out so hard. And I just remember being like playing away, and I was like, what the fuck is that guy doing? Yeah, keep going. And that like hyped me up. And then he was like, the dude on the side was like kicking shit over. I remember Lachlan put his foot up on one of the fallbacks to like rest on and like kind of like shred on a little bit. And then the fallback just was like, and he like almost pushed the fallback off the stage. And that was like just the beginning of the most hectic thing ever, because if we go on just past that, with the wrestling and everything else that was happening, old mate jumping into a fucking fan.
It was that show
which
too.
Is
it literally made it on Botchamania. It was crazy. It was pretty full on.
It was like, just, there was like so much stuff to take in. There was like music here. The burlesque was bizarre, to say it like the least. I was like not expecting. I didn't know that was going to happen.
No.
I was like, what is this? And then the wrestling, and then a good.
Because that was your first live show too. That was the first wrestling thing you've ever really seen.
The dude who was there, he's like the announcer, and he was like Vaporize, and I was like, oh, this is fucking sick.
Yeah.
And that was like,
so that's
sick,
Nashi.
like an announcer.
So the cool thing about Nashi is he actually ended up working for Triple M. So he worked in Triple M Melbourne from memory, and he ended up working for Triple M up here.
Well, that was a cool voice, and that was like that. That made it awesome.
Feel
too.
real. Made it
Yeah,
feel
no,
legit
it
more.
was
Yeah.
sick. I remember after we played our second set, and then we were like, I think we were like chilling off to the side, and old mate had just jumped into a fan, and was like bleeding out, and
It
people were
wasn't that
like,
bad. It was a little
"Kill
mark.
him!"
It was a little mark.
Insert clip. Holy crap! Um, he it was rough. He jumped into a fan that was going, and then everyone was like, "Kill the fan! Kill the fan!"
Oh, bro,
And me and Lachlan,
he ended up making
yeah.
a shirt that said Xander's biggest fan, and it literally just had a fan on it. And he sold so many of them too. It was like, I'm like, how are you selling so
Oh, I
much
don't
money
doubt
for
it.
this? Like, oh, here we go. I've actually got it.
It's crazy.
Here we go.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Oh man, it hurts to watch. Oh, imagine having that imprinted in your mind, just like then he gets up and he keeps wrestling.
Yeah. There you go. He's got a bit of blood there.
Oh.
See, here's something funny. If you watch the dude he was meant to hit, so generally with this move you do jump up and out, whereas in this, because it being such a low ceiling, you really shouldn't jump out. So you really shouldn't jump up. But if you watch, he's here clapping and losing his shit. So they're all laughing at the moment. They're all losing their crap. So he needs to figure out what to do. So he hits him, and the reason he does that is because he's so busy laughing that he can't even deal with what's actually going on in the ring. So I know Xander pops this out, and he's like bleeding at this point, man. He just got blood dripping down. But yeah, it was hilarious to see from backstage. Oh, okay, that's gonna pop off again. There you go, Braidan Parker again. Yeah. But yeah,
But
so
yeah,
that was a good show to go to actually.
I was gonna say, just as like a side note to that, something that because of that show in particular, is something that I've done in like outside of like music and everything else, is just like whenever I'm in like a really kind of surreal moment or like event, and that's the thing that started it off, that particular event, is like I'll just like sit for a moment and just kind of take everything in and just be like, this is like, especially for that, I was like, I'm living in like a memory right now. And so I just like soaked everything in, and I have like the best memory of that entire night. Like I can tell you, I'm not going to, but I can tell you from like the moment I walked in the door, everything that happened, pack up everything else.
Yeah.
Because it was just the most mental, insane experience ever. And I have you to thank for that. So
Nah,
thank you very much.
Look, I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't worth it. Like, you guys were good. Like, you were really good. Like, I remember the amount of times, and I'd do it on purpose too, because there'd be days. So, my grandfather would pick me up because I was on my L's. So he'd always go right near the roundabout, and I'd watch, and I'd see Lockie was pulling out because he'd be going home as well. So in goes the aux cord, cranking up Vaporize as he's driving past, and like he's like, what the fuck? Because he didn't realize it was me the first time, and the second time he's like, I think he caught me the next day. He's like, were you blasting like our music? I'm like, yeah, just as you drove past. Yeah, that was me. He's like, fucking hell. He was like losing it. So I think he'd given me the EP, and I downloaded it. No, I downloaded it from YouTube onto it initially before I'd got the EP. And he's like, how the hell did you get that? I'm like, it's on YouTube. Actually, that's the funny thing, is you didn't realize it was on YouTube. Somehow it was on YouTube without you guys putting it up. Which is crazy before you had your own channel.
You sound cut out for a second, that's alright. So, what did you say, dude?
It was like, the music was up, but you guys never put it up. Which I think...
Yeah, well, we did and we didn't. So I think someone else put it up originally. And then when I I then went and made like a Vaporize channel and uploaded it, and because we own the copyright for it, it then I think it took it down from the other place.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's super hard to find, because if you search Vaporize, there's everything just comes up with people smoking, which is fantastic.
Well, what I do is, because I also know the names of the songs, I literally typed it in.
Oh, yeah.
Fair price, satisfy, bang, first thing that came up. I'm like, yes. Because actually
Yeah,
with that, I've
that's
got
good.
this. So this is something that you guys put out as a promotional piece, which I thought was dope.
Oh, man. When's that from? 2018.
Which was
Yeah,
it was
dude,
it was
this
pretty good
is
because I know
sick. I
this is
love
what
this.
this is what wrestling put up. So this is actually what the wrestling page put up because they're like, hey, have you got anything that we can do to promote these guys? I'm like, here, this is something they made, and he really liked it. And I thought it was really well done.
Yeah, Lockie's mate, Michael Geddes, he put this together for us. He's awesome.
Oh, look at the hair.
Oh, man. Yep, I remember this. This is so sick. Slow-mo on the drums. Man, he looks ridiculous.
Yeah, no, it was dope. It was dope.
Thanks, man. Yeah, that in particular, that clip. So like, the music plays real time, and then the drums and the guitar look slow motion.
They do, but it looks like it's hitting. Yeah,
music.
it was really fucking trippy. Like it was trippy.
So
as hell.
in order to do that, we had to get the songs, speed them up at ×2, play them at double speed, record them at double speed,
Yeah.
and then slow it back down, and it would fit.
Yeah.
The amount of times that I played that song twice as fast as it is, and it's not a slow song.
No, it's not.
And especially for Lockie, because like how fast he already is changing between like his chords and stuff, and then to be being like twice as fast and still picking and trying to sing as well. Imagine trying to sing twice as fast. How do you?
But then still making it sound like
Exactly. So yeah, it was really cool. It was in there still in the soundproof room. It looks different now, obviously, but nah, that was a thank you. Yeah, no, that was cool. I like that.
So sadly, obviously, that's not.
I'm
really
surprised you have that.
Oh, dude, I was
That's
more than ready
sick.
for this podcast, man. I was more than ready.
Need a deep dive on me, mate.
Oh, it's not hard, man.
I mean,
It's
you
like-
don't have to look too hard, but yeah.
Oh,
no,
dude,
that's sick.
I remember. Here's the funny thing: is I remember because at the time, back then, Spotify really wasn't much of a thing, and you didn't want to buy music online. But you also wanted to listen to music while you were doing things, but everything was on YouTube. So they had this app, I can't remember it for the life of me, where it'd like cache and like hold on to songs and stuff. So I had it all on this thing, and then that app also got taken down because it's copyright stuff. So then I'm like, crap. And then I went looking for the music, which is for Midnight Show. And I think I spent a good hour looking for it until I eventually. Because you type in Midnight Show, obviously it's all just like killer stuff that pops up. I'm like, shit, what was the name of their songs again? Like, what? I'm like, eventually found it. I probably couldn't find it now if I tried. But like.
Yeah, I would doubt it. It's got wiped pretty much off everywhere.
Well, that was the sad thing because it was good music. I mean, thankfully that stuff's still up on YouTube and Spotify, so go check it out because it's good shit.
Yeah, that stuff's not going anywhere. Worked too hard on that.
Well, yeah. And obviously you guys pulled out the EP, and I just remember you had the biggest smile on your face, and you had like, you were gonna sell a bunch of EPs. I'm like, you'll probably make like, you're gonna just sell them for like $5 or something. Like, you'll probably make money. And then I'm there. I'm either just finished a match or talking about a match that I was gonna have. And I turn around and here's you guys throwing them out in the crowd, throwing them like candy, just like, oh, try it. And the thing is, I think you had like a bunch of people actually grab them. I know there was a bunch of wrestlers that grabbed them, and I know that obviously.
Yeah, I think we gave out like.
You guys
I think we probably handed maybe like 30 or 40. And we weren't even asking for money. We were just walking around.
Just giving them.
Here, have this.
Yeah, it was hilarious. I'm
paying
like, what the
us.
hell are you doing? Well, yeah, because I remember people were like popping out money for you, because that's what I was
I think
laughing
we
about.
made like 120, 150 bucks or something.
Yeah, because
And I was like, it's more than what we gave out. Like, even if we were selling them at $5 a piece, we made more than that.
yeah,
And
and
we
like
weren't selling them. We were just.
Yeah, the funny thing
People
was,
being
I
supportive.
remember, and it shows how cheap my trainer was and how the promoter was. But it's just how he was. He was a fucking slack ass. It was at the end of the show, and I'm like, "Have you paid the guys yet?" And he was like, "No, not yet. They haven't like come to me. I haven't spoken to him yet." I'm like, "Cool, you two here." Dragged his over, and he's got like, "Oh, I've got like a $50 note," and I've just looked at him like, "Are you fucking kidding? Like what?" And then you guys, it was either you or Lockie, like, "Nah, you paid us just in the experience. Like we don't need the money."
Yeah, no, 100%, and that's it. We're not even at that point in time. We didn't really ever like. We weren't doing it for money. We weren't doing it for anything other than the fact that we just wanted to get out and play music.
Wasn't that was your one and only gig, wasn't it, for Vaporize? Or did you have more after that? 'Cause I know that was your first one, because I know you were really making a big deal out of it. I'm like, me not knowing what the zoo is, I'm like, it's just a place that we wrestle. I'm like, eh. And you're like making this big deal out of it. I'm like, oh, well, I'm glad you're happy. I don't realize it was that big a deal.
No, I think that was the only. I think that was the only one because we took a pretty massive break after midnight show.
Mm.
I think it was like maybe like a year. I think because
I think I was in grade 11. I think I was in grade 11 by the time you guys popped it out. And then you really...
Yeah.
I knew you were doing it in grade 11. And then it was grade 12, because I know for a fact it was when I was starting driving. I knew in grade 12 that's when you guys had the EP out, and you were actually pushing the music out.
Mm.
So then it would have been...
Yeah.
Would have been the year after that. So it would have been 2017? 2017? Oh no, because that was... No, it would have been later, because that video was 2018, so it would have been 2018 that you guys did it.
Well, that video...
Because that was a 2018
I feel like
video.
we uploaded that twice.
Mate, well, that's what it was on YouTube.
And then it came down and it went up.
Yeah.
But yeah, either way...
because that's what they used.
Yeah. Yeah, it was our first... We took a big break after Midnight Show. So what I was going to say, so with Midnight Show, we did like a bunch of gigging and then went and did the EP. Or didn't do the EP.
Yeah, went to do the EP, yeah.
Yeah. And so then with Vaporize, we were like, well, we already know how to get shows. We'll just go and do the EP first so that when we go and do shows, then we have something to give people.
Mm.
Exactly. So it was like, rather... Because when we went and gigged a bunch with Midnight Show, we'd go and do a gig or 2 gigs or 3 gigs, and the entire time people would be like, "Oi, where's your EP? Give me your EP. I want to buy it." Or like we'd be missing out on handing out like 10 EPs per show with Midnight Show, and it was like, all right, well, when we do it the second time, we'll do it properly. We'll go and get the product first, be super organized, and then when we go to gigging, we'll just have it there. Which in theory, great idea.
Yeah.
But like I said, we got to the point where we wanted to get to, which was we played that first show, which was the wrestling. And then again, just different things got in the way. And
yeah, I think I do remember you telling me. Yeah, life just sort of got in the way, and I know Lockie was in a bit of a weird place at that point as well, because he wasn't sure if he wanted to keep teaching or whatever was going on.
Yeah, it's just a variety of things. So Lachlan ended up having a child, which I mean is fantastic. Takes time away from me, which is unfortunate.
Oh no!
As I am the most important person in his life.
Doesn't need a wife or kid. Has his brother. Yeah.
Screw them. That's right. It's all about
trying to make money here with a band. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
But no, I love him. So he's so that happened. That takes up obviously the entire like pregnancy process is really stressful. So you've got that, and then just me doing my own thing with work and trying to stay on top of a job, and so it went away from, like I said, it wasn't ever about making money. It was just about playing music. So for us at that point in time, we were just happy to come back here and just jam out on a Saturday or a Wednesday afternoon, play through our songs, write new music. We've got music at the moment for like a second EP, which we fully intend on recording at some point. Yeah, it's just a matter of it being the right time. Dude, it's honestly, it's
Because I remember, and
it's a lot better. It's good. It's like different again.
I remember I was real dirty about it. Is you had said that there was new songs, and they were like, there was a bit more to them, and I'm like, oh yeah,
Dude.
yeah,
It's
okay, like show us. And you're like, you sent me something, and I'm like, no, these are the same 4 songs that I've already heard. Where's the new stuff? It's like, well, it hasn't been recorded yet. We're doing it soon. I'm like, okay. And then it came to the point where you guys were on the show. I'm like, so is this like an upgraded EP? Have you got the new songs? Because you were playing the new songs. You were playing like 2 or 3 of the new songs. And I'm sitting there fucking, I'm like, oh, this is great. And then I'm like, so where's that stuff? I'm like, oh, I haven't recorded it. I'm like, don't hide these from me, mate. These are good shit. Like, don't be hiding this from me. So if they're not on the new EP, I'm like, have something to say.
Fast forward 3 years, we're still making that new EP, but in due time, mate.
Yeah, well, I've been waiting a few years, man. It's what, 4 years now?
That's alright. You might be waiting another year, but
no,
that's alright.
Of course I am. Jesus.
In due course. Hey, I got other stuff. That's what it'll tide you over until then.
Okay, alright. Well, speaking of other stuff, is you sort of went quiet for a while, and then I think I was on my learners for my fucking bike license at that point, and I saw you were riding a bit, and I'm like, hey, want to go for a ride? So you and Declan came around to Stanford. I nearly died on the roundabout because that's fucking roundabout shit.
Yes,
and I was very new.
Did.
I just went to go around, and I was running so wide that I'm like, oh shit, and just had to go straight. And then you're like,
I remember my
where do you go?
Like,
No, wasn't it Declan? It was Declan.
No, Declan doesn't have a bike license. He's like 19.
I thought it was
my
Declan.
friend, Dan.
Oh, okay. Well, I heard D, so I thought it was him. Okay.
No.
Because yeah, you guys were fanging it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna stick to the speed limit. Like,
no, we were on the speed limit. What are you talking about?
No, don't. Straight past me every time. Like, stay close enough that if a cop comes, I'm not in trouble. Like, because you're like, oh, this is the easy way, and it started to rain too, which was the crazy part. It was like starting to drizzle. I'm like,
a good day for it.
Oh man, I was like, oh no.
You're riding the rain at some point.
Oh, I've done it multiple times now, but like then I was like still on my L's, and I'm like, oh fuck. And he's like,
it's a good ride though.
It wasn't bad. It was pretty good. And he's like, oh, we were gonna go hard way, but it's like pretty dirt. I'm like, probably not yet. I'm like,
oh yeah.
Thank you.
Up the road.
Yeah.
Do you still have that bike?
Same bike. Yeah. Yeah, still got it. Still goes hard.
I think I've had like 6 bikes since that one that I had at that point in time, but they're all gone.
Lovely.
Got the pushy.
So why'd you sell them all? Was money or?
Yeah. Money, and it was hurting my back. So like the dirt bikes that I had, I kept going over the bars on, which isn't great.
No.
Yeah,
Because you ended up getting a cruiser, didn't you?
Yeah. I had the Honda Rebel, the 500. That thing was a beast of a bike. I love that thing. Everyone shit on it. Oh, what'd you get that for? It's a cruiser. Ew, yuck, a cruiser. And then I'd be like, oh yeah, race me at the lights, mate. Bye. And then I went from that and got like some kids' bikes. Went and got like a Grom, and then a Monkey.
Groms are great though.
And then, oh yeah, they are. Except I'm 6'3" almost, and was like hunched up on it. And well, not good for the back.
No, probably not. No, that's fair call.
But I'll definitely get another bike at some point. I really want to get like an 800 or something, but it's just money at the moment. I went and chucked all my money into push bikes and a car in order to carry my push bikes around, and left me with no money for motorbikes.
Yes. Well, with that, you ended up going onto Dead Set Trails. I remember that popping up, and I was watching bits and pieces. I wasn't heavily tied in, I'll be honest, but I was seeing the stuff that was on Instagram, because obviously you're very social media focused, which is a good thing, which is something I fail with wrestling. But I'm constantly seeing something from you, which is always good. And even then, not all because you were like building your own ramps and stuff in your backyard, and you're like really starting learning how to do the whole mountain biking thing. And I thought it was really cool that you guys are building all your stuff. So like, how did that sort of come about, and like, what's sort of happened from it? Because obviously you're like, hey, we should actually do this as a thing.
Yeah, no, 100%. So me and Dan, old mate Dan. So me and Dan, we've been friends since like, well, I want to say grade 9. Got into hella shenanigans when we were at school. Um, but yeah, so after school, we always had like this idea of doing like a YouTube channel of some sort.
Yep.
There's some really bad videos of us like screwing around. Like, oh, that I think we took them all down. I really hope that no one downloaded them. But it's like everyone's first video is like
horrible.
Not great.
I mean, hopefully this one won't be
But
too
you
bad.
gotta-
It's been a pretty good conversation so far.
But this isn't your first video. You've been doing streaming and all that fun stuff. And I've been doing
but
videos
no.
forever,
This is very
so
different though.
It kind of like comes
we,
across.
the reason I even like did this was because like at the moment I am sort of in a weird place, and I'm like, I just want something that I can put out. So I help Zach Sabbath, who's a wrestler from Adelaide, with his Twitch stuff. I help make stuff for him, and I do his YouTube channel. And I'm like, I'm kind of just looking for that next thing for me. Because like, job's a bit weird, but I'm like, you know what? Let's do this. I enjoy talking to people, and like when you're streaming, it's a lot of time and effort. Like it really is. Not that this won't be, but it's like you're talking to 1-2 people who are just typing back to you. And I'm like, it's cool and all, I enjoy it, but it just wasn't giving me that satisfaction. And then I listen to podcasts a lot, and I'm like, I enjoy talking to people. Like I have phone calls that go longer than they should a lot of the time, which is really weird considering I am sort of shy in first meet, but as soon as I got you, I'd chat your bloody ear off. And then, which I've done to you multiple times. So, and then I'm like, maybe I could do this whole podcast thing. And it's like, I'm not expecting much out of it. Like, if you expect too much, you're bound to fail. Exactly. Like, if you expect too much and you fail, like this, I'm just like, I just want to have fun with this. So, yeah, I sort of built this and did a bunch today. I also asked you if you wanted to hop on as the first one, because obviously there's a lot of facets of like what you do. So I'm like, I'm like the channel's not even up yet. By the time people are watching this, obviously the channel will be up. But like the time for me is I haven't put up a channel yet. I only made the logo today. And it's like, it's something enjoyable, and it's like if it becomes something, sweet. If it doesn't, cool. I'm gonna keep doing it anyway because I enjoy talking to people.
That's the thing.
So
too,
hopefully
like,
this video goes well.
Yeah, no, I think you'll be right, man. The biggest thing that I've found is you have to find something that's like enjoyable enough that you want to keep doing it. And like you can't look at the numbers. Like you could sit there all day and be like, oh, I got 6 likes today. Oh, I got 10 people looked at my story. Yay, whoop-de-doo. It's like, okay, well that's nice. And 10 people saw whatever, but it's like, well, does 10 people seeing my story make me like successful? Does that make me feel good about myself? Or is the act of doing what you're trying to achieve what you are like using to make yourself feel better? So like for you, for instance, you're doing the podcast because you enjoy talking to people.
I do.
And it's something fun and enjoyable. So it's like you make time for it because that's what you enjoy doing.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, sure, if something comes of it, awesome. If something doesn't, then cool. You had a cool conversation with someone, and now someone else can experience that as well, and maybe learn something, maybe not, or maybe just chill out and listen to a cool conversation.
Well, like, that's the thing, because there's like there's a lot of podcasts in the world. Obviously, like there's so many bloody podcasts, and it's hard to find good ones. Like this may be a good one, maybe a trash one, depends on what people feel. But like my thing with this is like the whole natural chats thing. Well, we're chatting obviously, and the natural one's obviously my gimmick with wrestling. But the reason I said natural as well is because I want it to be real. I don't if I ever manage to get bigger name people, awesome. If I stick to people, friends, family, just people that like you may not know them, but hopefully by the end of them you do, because like even though we're buddies, you're obviously doing stuff that we'll talk about later that hopefully it takes off for you, which is awesome. Because I think everyone's got a story and everyone's interesting. Just because you don't know that person, like you listen to it, you may actually take something away from it. You may like just because you don't know the person who you listen to on the podcast doesn't mean you can't take something away from it.
That's a good thing.
Well, exactly.
Because like
for me, like
it makes you original as well.
Well, see, like the thing with me is like if I'm listening to Rogan, for example, is a big one that I listen to. There's a lot of people on there who I don't really have a clue who the hell they are. But I'll listen to it. Generally, obviously, I'll look for the people who I know, like the comedians and all that stuff, because I enjoy having a laugh. But I found that even though someone may not know you, there's still an interesting story. Like people that I've got planned. Like obviously, I'll have a wrestling aspect of this as well. I'm not trying to step on anyone's toes because obviously there's bigger wrestling ones out there. But I've got a lot of wrestling mates. I enjoy talking to a lot of wrestling mates because I have stories. Like there's other people who I've spoken to about doing this, you know, whether they've been in the army or they run their own business or it's still cool stories. Like everyone has a story.
Yeah, no, 100%.
You know, like
and that's the thing too. A lot of people don't get given the opportunity to just talk and like let. Oh, I don't really know how to explain it, but a lot of people just don't get given the opportunity to express themselves in a way that is similar to this. So this is for someone like for something like for myself in particular. When you asked me, I was like, "Oh hell yeah, man! That sounds awesome."
yeah,
Like, why would I turn that down for? That's even if nothing comes of it. Like, I'm not doing this for personal gains. I'm doing it because it's a cool idea, and I want you to have a cool like product.
I appreciate it.
And I just enjoy chatting.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it for gains. I'm just doing it because I think it's cool.
Yeah.
And I want more people to do what they enjoy. That's why I'm writing. It's like I want other people to find things that they enjoy and then pursue them. And that's like the big thing. Like, sure, you know, you go have a job, you get money, but money doesn't make you.
No, it doesn't.
You know?
It comes down to like what makes you happy because you can have a job and be miserable, and that money then becomes miserable money because it's like it's there, you can use it, but are you really happy with what you're doing? Probably not. No. But like
you're dreading it,
right? Like my job at the moment, it's alright. You know, it could be better if you know certain things fell into place, but unluckily they haven't. So am I enjoying work? No, but at the same time, it gave me a push to go, okay, well, what do I enjoy? Well, I enjoy talking to people. And then just sort of slowly, it literally hit me in the gym last night to dump all this effort in. Like, everything is happening right now happened in a day. Like, the logo, the
that's
name.
That's the best way to do it.
Well, that's the thing. And, like, all day, I was so, like, motivated and keen for this, which is really weird because I haven't had that feeling in a long time, other than wrestling. But even at the moment, wrestling's in a way where it's like, all the shows are getting cancelled because COVID's so bloody crazy at the moment. Again, even though there's no restrictions, it's still somehow restricting us, which is annoying. But it's like, okay, well, what can I do that I enjoy? And I'm like, bang, 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 bang. And then I spoke to my mate, Zach Sabbath. I pitched him 2 names. And the dude's very out of the box in the way he thinks. I'm here thinking, like, these are cool names. And he goes, this sounds like white supremacy, white power names. And I'm like, right, well, I'll think of something else then. Because I don't want that to be the case. Because I think I pitched We the Naturals, which I can understand where he's coming from with that one. And the other one was, what was it? Because I thought of this one, I've already forgotten about it. I will find it. Because it was, I think that one was the one I was enjoying the most. That he's like, nah, don't do it. Where is it? Let's have a look. Sorry to be on my phone, but
nah, dude, you're good. It's good to have people to feed off as well. Like, it's good to have.
Natural Selection Podcast.
Yeah, dodge that one.
Yeah, I'm like, look, I was trying to do like natural. No, I don't know why. Then I'm like, well, natural chats. Like it's something that's bang, it's there, it's in your face, and then it's like.
Yeah, you're natural. You get your chats.
I'm the natural one.
The thing too is, you want people to know what you're about. Like, so
exactly.
Natural chats. It's like there's not really too much room for open for that. It's like, okay, well, this dude's doing natural chats. What could that mean?
Yeah,
natural.
My brain behind it was obviously it ties in with my character. 2, it's like I'm not a guy who enjoys very interviewee style podcasts. I don't like the ask question response. Like I've got dot points here of what I want to hit, but if we don't hit them, oh well. It's like I'm not very strict with it. Like, and the whole natural thing is, well, what's natural? Natural's real, and these are real conversations that we're having. We're not like putting it on. We're not in characters right now. I'm Zach Hyde. You're Braidan Parker. There's nothing going on here. Oh, is he? And then like, so like, I wanted it to be that like, that's what makes sense. Like I've always said, if I do a face character, it blends in well because the natural one at the moment as a heel is I'm cocky. Oh, I'm a natural athlete. I'm really good. Blah blah blah. Easy bad guy. Good guy is like my phrase is it's better to be natural. Cocky, but as a good guy, it's like it's better to be who you are. Like don't listen to like I think a quote that I came up with that is um it's better oh what was it that I had? Um be who you are, not who they want you to be. Be natural.
Yeah, that's
It's
good.
like everyone especially in society and social medias, you're always trying to be someone you're not. You're trying to be like somebody else. You're trying to act like somebody else, and you see it all the time. And generally, it fails for them. And it's not who they are. It's just and it's crap. Whereas if you're being who you are, you're not listening to the outside world. You're just being who you want to be within reason, illegal stuff. Don't be stupid. But like if you're being who you are, and like you what you're doing is a very natural thing. You're just being you. You're not trying to put a character on. You enjoy writing, and you're producing good quality film with it.
Thanks, man.
Like it blends in well with everything that I'm trying to do, and that's why I'm like the name sort of popped to me.
If you be yourself, as long as you be yourself, people will get attract. Like they'll attract to that.
Yeah.
If you're like putting on a character, sooner or later people will go, nah, this isn't him. He's playing a role, which I mean for wrestling is great because that's what you're supposed to do. But for like for this particular thing, you want it to be like legit. You don't want to be like, oh, this is me. I'm this person, and I'm really cool, and blah blah blah. It's like no, you just do it as it is, and then when you have people on, you just get them to be themselves as well, and then that's what people become attracted to.
Well, like with me, man, like I'm a dork. I'm a dork who enjoys talking to people. Like my wrestling character is one thing, and like yes, to a degree, that wrestling character is me amped to 1,000, as most people will say their wrestling character is. Because do I think I'm good at wrestling? Yes. Do I amp that to 1,000 to then make that character? Yes. Does that sometimes blend into
you are good at wrestling.
Zach Hyde? Oh, I appreciate that. There's better in the world, but I'll take that. Especially at the moment. Keep watching my matches. And it's like, yeah. And it's like, that's the character. And it's like, people who then meet me, like, I've still then got to put a character on to a degree, but I'm still very much myself. Like, I still at my, like, who the fuck are you sort of deal. But, like, I'm still very nice, especially towards kids. Because, like, the thing for me with wrestling was when I was a kid. And it's sort of, I still try and give that experience to kids. Like, they're the probably only people that I'm actually really, really nice to. And, like, me. But yeah, we went completely fucking sidetracked. We were talking about YouTube, and then, so Dead Set Trails. So, obviously, back to it, because that was a long road.
It was a good
sidetrack. But that's the point. That's why I don't like interviews, because they're so, like, borderline. With this, we can afford to, we said we'd go for an hour, 2 hours. We're at an hour 20. We go to fucking nearly 3 hours. Who cares? We're having a good time.
That's right. That's what it's about. It's about having a good time.
That's it. So, like, Dead Set Trails. Obviously, that started this thing. You guys built it all in your backyard, which I thought was crazy. And in my head, I'm like, your parents must want to kill you for dicking up their yard. Because you obviously digging shit and building ramps out of dirt. I'm like, as long as you're doing the mowing, because I doubt your dad would want to be doing it with all the shit you're doing. And also you're building ramps and like side ramps and you're building all sorts of really cool things, which is really cool. Mr. Katai must have taught you well. And it's like...
Never had him.
Oh, really? That's hilarious. That's the woodwork teacher at the school we went to, for reference. But,
he's a good guy. I like him.
Yeah. So, how'd you... Obviously, there was BMX tracks and mountain bike trails. What sort of made you go, hey, let's build something in the backyard?
Well, see, it's a long winding story, but I used to... Like, everyone watches, like, X Games and all that fun stuff. And so for the longest time, I've always just had like this idea that I wanted to ride a mountain bike and learn how to do it properly. Because I honestly suck for the longest time, if I hopped on a bike, I was getting hurt. Like, guaranteed. I have so many memories of a kid going off jumps, copying my brother, and just eating a mouthful of dirt. It happened way too many times. And by the time I was in high school, I just knew, don't get on a bike. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
So I don't have a background in riding bikes by any means.
Yeah.
But yeah, essentially, and the same thing with motorbikes. I never wanted to ride motorbikes. And then one day, Lockie was like, hey, do you want to get a motorbike license with me? I was like, yeah, I guess so. So that's kind of where it all started from. Went with the motorbikes for a bit. Kept getting hurt on motorbikes and was like, okay, well, I like bikes. How can I do it with less consequence? Mountain bikes. And I always kind of wanted like a good mountain bike. And I was like, okay, well, if I want to learn how to ride mountain bikes, I need somewhere to ride. I don't really know how to ride dirt jumps, so maybe I'll build something in the backyard. And at the time, that would probably be about 3 years ago that I was like kind of contemplating it a little bit. I just watched like a bunch of Sam Pilgrim stuff, a bit of Matt Jones, like, you know, like watching slope style and downhill and stuff. And I was like, yeah, this looks like something that I want to learn how to do. I'm probably going to get hurt, but that's all right. We'll roll with it.
Yeah.
So I asked my dad originally, and he was like, yeah, absolutely not. There's no way that you're doing that in the backyard. And I was like, okay, there goes that. So the only bike I had at that point in time was my dirt jumper, which for anyone who doesn't know what a dirt jumper is, it's like a big BMX with some front suspension. The rear end is just a hardtail. You're just supposed to do dirt jumps on it. You're not supposed to take it down trails or anything like that. But me and my infinite wisdom thought, screw it. I'll put downhill tires on it and we'll go out to the local downhill track.
Oh, no.
So that's where the whole thing kind of started. Me and Lockie went out to this place called Ironbark. It's the worst climb in the world. I've done it maybe 4 times, and I swear I cry every time. It's the worst. But so I put downhill tires on that bike, went down the trail and went, this is fucked. I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
But at the same time, going down the trail was fun. I just had the wrong tool for the job.
Yeah.
So, like, that was like one side of the story. The other side was that me and Dan were creating on YouTube really dumb shit.
Yeah.
Like, it was so fucked in the head. It was like, we got a video called How to Teleport, and it was like learning how to use video editing for the first time. And it's essentially, we spin in a circle over here, and then I cut the footage, and then we start spinning in a circle over here. And then it's like, oh, there you go, that's how you teleport. And it's fucking ridiculous. It's disgusting. But that was like where we started. So we were doing that, and we wanted to progress. So we went from teleporting to, I think the next thing we tried was like, we had like rocket ships. So
right.
It's a rocket. I don't really know what the name for it is. They're called like C4. It's not C4, but it's like, it's slightly
CO2? CO2?
No, it's proper rocket. It's like you put the lighter in it and then it shoots like fire out the bottom of this like.
Jesus.
Where is it? I've got them lying around here somewhere, but they go like 100 meters in the air, like plus.
Far out.
You're not allowed to use them near airfields because it fucks with like airplanes and shit. As we found out, but yeah, so we got the rockets from them, put it in a pipe, set up a big steel string, and then we put stuff like a watermelon or like a can of cream or something, and then shot a rocket into it.
I mean, that's cool.
That's fun. Yeah, exactly. So that was like the next iteration of the channel. I don't even know what the channel was called at that point in time. I don't think it was called anything. I think it was just YouTube. But so that was like the second, and this is like 2016, 2017. This is like early. And then so went from that to rockets. Then it went to like just dumb, like bottom of the barrel dumb shit. Like I think we did an episode called Fruity Chop Chop, and it was just us with a sword throwing fruit in the air, and then going, yeah. and chopping it, and that was called Fruity Chop Chop. It was fun making it, but in editing it, I was like, this cannot get published. Like, we cannot.
It's basically real life Fruit Ninja.
This. Exactly. And he's like, no, man, this is awesome. We need to put this out there. And so we put it out. Thankfully, I think 10 people saw it. And after 10 people saw it, I was like, no, fuck this. This is coming down. This ain't being on here. So there was like a gradual progression. I think it was like one video in 2016, maybe 3 videos in 2017. 2018 might have had 3 or 4. Then there was a period of time when Dan had just got his gun license, and we were doing like, I think we wanted to like work into like gun videos.
Right.
So there'd be a very small part of like people who watched our YouTube channel that saw. I think there was like maybe 1 or 2 gun videos on there at one point, but ultimately made the decision just to take all those off because it kind of screws with your monetization and with like.
Yeah, guns is pretty hard on YouTube in Australia.
Exactly. It kills you straight away.
I mean, it's good. Like people do look for it, but it's more YouTube within the Australian side of it is very like, hey, we don't really want you promoting guns. Yeah.
So that ultimately didn't work, and then we were like, okay, well, we need something to do. What can we do? And I was like, well, I'm gonna buy a mountain bike. If you want to, you can buy a mountain bike, and we'll just start recording mountain bike videos. We both don't know how to ride a bike, but who cares? So,
part of the fun.
Long story short, exactly. So we took my dirt jumper and we took his old beat up, I don't even know what it's called, some bike, and rode around the gutters in Burpengary, and like dropping off things that were like this big. Like, it was sad. It was very sad. But that's where we started. We started dropping off little ledges that were no bigger than this big. And if you put that up against my head, it's about the size of my nose. Massive. So we started off small, and then we're like, okay, we're going to jump into this head first. I went and bought my dual sauce mountain bike, which is like essentially my dream bike. We already had a camera, and we also got, Dan also bought a bike. So I organized to get my bike, and then Dan kind of just walked in and was like, that one looks good, I'll buy that.
Yeah.
And then
I've got like a giant sitting at the back of like mum and dad's places. I used to ride it to school, funnily enough, but it does a really good mountain bike. Yeah. Look,
you should.
Why not? Yeah. Put some air back 100%. In the tires. It's fun. Yeah. Actually, I'll talk to you something about it after because there's something that I feel I could help you with. But continue.
All right, sweet. All right, yeah. Well, I just remembered then we did put out like a little. I think we had like 5 videos on like a pump. No, we had like a Pee-wee 80. So we both bought Pee-wee 80s and did 5 episodes on Pee-wee 80s between the guns.
Actually, I do remember that. I think that's one of the first things that I saw pop up from you guys. Is you guys on these little fucking.
Yeah, exactly. So that was like the stepping stone from like guns to motorbikes, little bikes, into mountain bikes.
Yeah.
And same thing. That was fun. We built like a little tiny track in the backyard, but as rain does, it rains a lot here, and so our track got washed away very quickly.
How was your dad about that? Because I remember you guys were putting in some big work to the yard.
Yeah. So he wasn't super keen on it, but his main thing is that as long as when he decides to move out of the house, that as long as I go in and hit it with a dingo and then flatten everything out, he's fine with everything.
Okay, that's good.
They're just happy that the backyard gets used, honestly, because they bought the land for us to use it, and then 10 years later it hasn't gotten used. So they're like, screw it, do whatever you want, as long as it's not an eyesore. And then I put a big eyesore up. We'll get to that. But yeah, so essentially we bought mountain bikes, and we're like, okay, we're just going to document us learning how to ride. And so it was just each weekend go and hit up a new trail. And then there's a channel in America, his name's Backyard Trail Builds. And I used to watch a shitload of him and Burn Peak. And then Burn Peak started like uploading less trails, and then Backyard Trail Builds started uploading less. And I was like, okay, well, I mean, there's obviously a market for it, so why don't we just start building? which then we could build to our skill level, which was good. And then it also just gives us something fun to do to tack in, so it's not just like the same thing every single week.
Yeah.
Which was good. They did decently well. I enjoyed making them. It was a bit of a hard slog in the middle of the summer, but you know that's always the way. And then yeah, so that was like early. I think we started in September of 2020. September was when we started with our bikes. Went straight through until about November, end of November of 2021. And then same thing again. Same thing happened with the music. Same thing happened here. Basically, just started putting less time into one, and then for myself, I was like, okay, I need an outlet to be myself. I need
Creative.
to be an outlet because creative. Exactly. I'm a creative person. I like to be creative. I needed something that I could put all of my spare time into. So I started putting my time into that, less time into Dead Set, and then eventually made the decision
with Dead Set. Sorry to cut you off, but with Dead Set, obviously
100%.
COVID's been a big thing at the moment. Did that affect you guys at all? Because I mean, you guys are outside doing stuff, and you're not really close. But I know they were having like big harsh lockdowns, and they were stopping even like fishing. Like, did it affect you guys?
Nah. So for the most part, there's trails around us, or like street trails can go ride, like urban. We bought a ramp so we can do that, or a lot of the COVID stuff we're in the backyard building.
Okay.
So we didn't really lose too much content to that. I think there was one weekend when they did like a 5-kilometer radius lockdown. And then there's like a shitty track down the back of like Morayfield area. Back of
I think I know the one you're on about. Yeah.
It's terrible. They should really do something about it. Like they could make it so much better. But anywho, I think we did an episode there, which was fun. But yeah, the COVID didn't affect us really.
Okay, that's good then.
We got out of it pretty unscathed.
Well, obviously, oh, sorry. You go.
No, you go, bro. You go.
Well, obviously, since then, you obviously made Charmer Films, which had to look to make sure it is indeed films. But yeah, I'll say Charmer. You've made Charmer, which is, from what I can tell, just you alone with people that obviously you're catching up with. And that's probably more the content that I've been seeing more of. I seem to be it's popping up for me a bit more than what Dead Set was. Dead Set was, but obviously this stuff you're obviously driving home a lot more, which is really cool. Obviously, to you going out to some cool places, and from what I'm gathering, it's showing your development as well within mountain bike riding, which I think is, and obviously watching the videos, they're bloody good because it's not like you're just riding in it's boring stuff. Like putting up cool stuff that's happening. It's cool people. You're putting a lot of time and effort into the editing. You're doing voiceover work on it. Like it's engaging and it's like I do struggle watching YouTube videos sometimes if they're not engaging, and I just like I've never sat down and watched a mountain bike video before in my life, and watching not something I've ever thought of. Like you sit down and you see the guys doing like 100%. These crazy like mountain cliffs in Rio and like these crazy things are going on, like where it's just like through the streets and stuff. And I'm like holy shit, but you never really see like actual mountain bike in the dirt. So I was also watching your content, and it's like this is actually like really good shit. Because it's not something that I thought about watching before, but I'm actually enjoying watching this. So that's a big credit to you. Obviously, the work that you're putting into it, like it's good stuff. So credit to you.
Appreciate it. Yeah, it's different. So anyone who has watched Dead Set in the past, and obviously, like you say, they're catching up now. I still get messages being like, "Hey, what happened to Dead Set? Where'd it go?" I'm like, I don't know, dude. It's moved on. You're like, I think that was last year, buddy. Come on.
I think I first noticed when you put that video out about Charmer, which it was good because we'll get a little bit more into it soon. But obviously we're talking about the creation. But yeah, I think that video is what really like I was watching, but I think that's what the one that really piqued my interest was like, oh, this is gonna be something big. I don't know what it was. Just watching that video is like, whether it's I can tell you're gonna put a lot more time and effort into it, whether it's whatever it is. That video that you put out was like, okay, this is where it goes. This is where it, this is where the ball gets smacked out of the park.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, that's the big thing too with it is with the the dead set content. It was good. I enjoyed like every aspect of it. It honestly grew me as myself as a writer, but then also as a creator, understanding what I wanted to put out, what I didn't want to put out, and towards the end of it, it was just I was getting really lazy. The content wasn't there, and I didn't really have the drive for it anymore. So I took a couple of weeks off, reassessed, and was like, all right, I need to do this properly. If I'm going to do it at all, I'm going all in. And so that's where Charmer Films came from. Um, Charmer, I didn't want to just make it about mountain biking, so I want to make it fully creative. So that's why it's Charmer Films rather than Charmer Mountain Biking.
So where'd Charmer come from?
On there. Charmer, so as you may have noticed by now, I pull a lot of my names from songs. So Charmer is a Kings of Leon song.
Okay.
So it's off their second or third album. But yeah, so my dog's named Molly. That's also a Kings of Leon song. But yeah, so Charmer. Charmer is a name that's been floating around for a while. Me and Lockie almost used it a little while back for another project. And then came back around this time and I was like, shit, man, Charmer is a good name.
Yeah.
I'm using it.
Now it's a brand of yours. Now you've got it as a brand. Yeah. Show off the merch. So I will talk about this, and I was talking to you about it earlier, because obviously we can talk about the YouTube stuff, but the thing that I thought was really cool is straight off the bat, you're also trying to make a brand out of it. And the thing that I thought was really unique and different is you're doing everything at cost price. You're not selling it for to make a profit, which as I said to you, you don't really hear much of that. Like everyone's out there trying to make a profit, which, hopefully you do when it comes to YouTube and all that sort of stuff. But the shirts are actually dope. I think that's the part that it's not this big elaborate design, but they're actually pretty cool. Obviously you got the cool design for the BP obviously being your name, which is really cool, but obviously the charmer in the back. If you got one there to show us, because they are really, really cool.
Yeah, I got
all handmade with
made one for someone.
Bleach or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, so this one's going out in the next day or two whenever I go and put it in the post. But this one's a blue on blue. This one's pretty sick. I like this one a lot. You can see it.
Yeah, that's really cool. I do like the logo. Yeah, no, they're awesome.
Yeah, so that's the biggest thing for me, as is always the way, I just like to do stuff that I think is really cool. So when it comes to the shirts, in the past I've tried to do bleach stuff. Didn't really do what I thought it would do. But then with this one, I was just like, shit, man, if I wanted to wear a shirt, what would I wear? So usually big lettering across the back looks sick. That way, you can walk around and your front's not just blurting out stuff.
Yeah.
Super clean, but yeah, like you say, at cost price. So I'm not out here trying to be a millionaire. I couldn't give a shit. I just want to build something that I think's cool and that other people can enjoy. So that's the same motto that I'm running with my whole mountain biking music brand. It's just have fun, get out there and experience it. And then charmer, be a charmer.
Yeah.
Be a good guy. Be a good guy.
But the thing as well,
too.
Yes. The cool thing with it though as well, and another cool thing, because the whole concept's pretty cool, but another cool thing that you said in the videos, when you also said this is charmer, is it's not like you're working with bleach. It's not going to be the same every time. They may be similar, but it's not going to be the same every time. It's not like you're screen printing them on. You're working with bleach, so it's going to be different, which I think is also really cool because, as you said in the video, which is 100% true, they're all basically original work.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So I'm not. You see all the dudes and they're selling their shirts for $20, $25 plus postage, whatever else, and it's they're all the same. And who the fuck wants to wear that? I mean, if it's a trusted brand, right? For instance, I don't know, what everyone wears, Adidas these days. You're wearing it because the brand is Adidas. You're not wearing it because I mean, some people wear it because.
And you pay $50 a shirt.
And you pay $50 for it. You know, you're expecting to be able to look cool in it. But where am I going with this? The idea of bleaching it is that it's like it's super creative. Everyone gets something that's individual to them. So it's like you go and see your friend wearing it, and it's like, hey, that's a cool version of the shirt that I've got, but it's not mine.
Yeah.
I have my shirt, and this is original to me. Like, if I give someone a shirt and they have it, it's theirs. It's like no one else has that exact same product.
Yeah.
And
same colours, but
cool
it's not exactly
like,
the same. Yeah.
Exactly. And so, like, when I have something, it's like, well, I want to have something that's original to me, and I think that's cool. So I imagine other people will think that's cool. So that's where I'm working from a lot of things.
Yeah, like it's a dope concept. Even just the fact that you're trying to establish the brand, which you see a lot of people do. Like, God, I've got a neighbor who's trying to make his own brand, which is the same as every other high-end brand. And like the crazy part is I wear Under Armour a lot, and they're all good quality. I love Under Armour. Big Under Armour mark. Under Armour sponsor me. But like, yeah, there you go. Yeah. But like you get some of the other brands, and it's just like the shirts aren't good. Like they're not good. They're not comfy. And I've got wrestling shirts that cost me less, that are 1,000 times more comfy. You know, and it's like I've never been one to spend a lot of money on shirts anyway. Like, I think that's another thing as well. Is like I'll see a $50-$60 like Project Rock Under Armour, and I'm like, how bad do I need it? Like it's like I love Project Rock because big rock fan, love Under Armour, but it's like, I'm not gonna buy it anyway.
Trust me, Project Rock is a good shirt. It's a good shirt.
Oh man, I think I've got 3 different Project Rock shoes, and yeah, nice. I got like, yeah, I think it's all I wear at this point, other than I've got a Bronco shirt on now, but it's the first thing I got my hand on. But like,
makes you 10% stronger at the gym.
It does. It makes you lift. Makes you lift hard. Because like that's all I wear at the gym is like Project Rock stuff. Like I'm always wearing. Like, if I got Project Rock shoes here with me now, I do. I literally do. Like I've got my blue ones. Like I've got the Chinese New Year's and the bright yellow ones, which is weird because I don't wear bright colors, but they're dope shoes. But yeah, like trying to establish a brand is always going to be hard, but when it's unique and it's different, that gives you an edge. And like for $15 a shirt, that's pretty cool. Because like as you said, you're not making money. You're probably losing money off it, but it's still something dope.
And that's the thing too. It's like I'm not like I am doing like brand association. So it's like if you see my Instagram or my YouTube, or if you see me out and about, then you'll be like, oh, look, that's that dude from Charmer. Or if someone's wearing a shirt, then you'll be like, oh, like that's someone that supports Charmer. Or it kind of creates a conversation as well. It's like, oh, what the fuck does that mean? But
well, exactly, because like the shirts are like, it's not tie dye. It's not a plain shirt. It's not a print. It's not embroidered. It's something that looks cool. The logo's big, bold on the back, and it's like it is a conversation piece as well. It's like, oh, what the hell is that? Where did you get that from? And you're like, oh, this is this, and this is what this guy does, and it's like they're really cool shit, cheap as well, or like it's a big selling point without whether it's intentional or not. Like it's something that brings people into it really easily.
And that's the thing too. It's like it's less about creating like the brand Charmer, but more about just bringing people to the community that is Charmer.
Yeah.
So I know that probably sounds like a sales pitch, but that's honestly what it is. It's less about making money and making this into like, oh look, I'm cool. I get to wear Charmer merch. Whereas I hope people do feel cool when they wear it, but it's more about being part of the community that I'm trying to create, which is just give it a go. Like, I suck at mountain biking, and this is how far I've gotten, and I'm going to show people how much further you can get just by applying yourself.
Yeah.
And being humble, I think, is a big thing too as well. Like, you'll see, I often have 13 and 14-year-old kids who are shitloads better than me at mountain biking. Yeah. And they teach me so much. Like, today I went riding at this place called Castle Hill, and before I got there, I couldn't do a tabletop that's like 2 meters. And they were like, okay, fix this, adjust this, go off the jump. And then they'd reassess and be like, okay, that was good. Now do this. And after 45 minutes of jumping, now I'm clearing a 5 meter tabletop.
Nice.
And it's like that's not me. That's these kids that are showing me how to ride, and I want to be able to then relay that experience to other people, so then they can know, okay, well, it's not always about mountain biking. They might have something that is in their life that they're wanting to pursue, but they're just too afraid, or they just don't know how to. And the biggest thing is just go and get started.
Yeah. Well, the cool thing with it is like, it's funny to see someone fail, but it's amazing to see someone succeed. And your videos are both. So you get the best of both worlds. Because
how much we crash.
As we are, that's what I'm going to. So obviously you put this video out today, and it's already got 14 views. So congratulations.
Yeah.
Now this moment is pretty funny in my eyes because you're overreacting like crazy, but
hey, you're scary, bro.
But the thing is, I'm sure it is, and you can sort of gauge it's like, oh, you're about to get cleaned up here, which is funny because you got cleaned up today, and you got a big old mark on your back. Which will.
That's a secret.
Here we go.
Oh, what? You have that too? Oh my god.
Real happy about it, isn't he?
Bro.
Yeah, I won the ball, mate.
How could you do me like that?
The thing is, like, you think you got to get forward momentum, but somehow you've turned. But it's amazing. Hey, the thing is, you're not going to get it straight away, you know? But yeah, right, so talk us through this. So,
goody.
You land a bit weird there.
You can't see it on camera, but I'm like, it's called dead sailor. So when you go off a jump and you kind of just like stiffen up, and whatever the bike is doing and your body's doing, that's what you're doing. There's no way out. And so you can kind of see when I land, my wheel darts off to the right. Right here, ready? Boom. So I'm like coming up, and I've got lots of speed, and then and then the bike starts getting away from me, and in the air, me and the bike just start turning over.
Oh.
And while you're on there, it's like, you know when you have like those moments of like slow motion when you know something bad's gonna happen?
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever experienced that, but I was like holding on, and I was like, oh, this is gonna hurt so much. Now I landed and somehow rolled out of it, and it's just, I thought like 100%, I thought I was hitting that ground.
Yeah.
And so when I rolled out of it, my brain was like just snapped from ow to, oh my god, why am I still on my bike for? And I was just like, oh, just holding on. Just I don't know how I saved that. You'll hear me in the clip. I'm just,
he's going off.
Mother God,
how the fuck am I still alive? Yeah, I should be dead.
100% I should be dead. And that jump too, you can't really see it on film, but it's like it rolls down and then it's a tabletop, but the back end of it really gets away from you. It's like a down tabletop, which doesn't really make much sense. It's not a step down, but it's not. Yeah, it's when you do something too many times and you think you're good and you're not good.
Get overconfident. Yeah.
Exactly. And man, I got so lucky on that, and I was shitting bricks after it. But further down that trail, I was getting real sketch, and then there's like that little mud bit down the bottom there, and I almost like put myself into the bushes off the back of it, and then dude rode past behind me, and he was like, dude, I just watched that. You need to get off your bike. I was like, yeah, bro, I know. And he was like, nah, seriously, you need to walk right now. Because he's like, I just watched you. You're shaking. He's like, you're going to have so much adrenaline. And I was like, yeah, I'm getting off and walking. And he's like, yeah, sweet, I'll walk with you. So we walked up from there. And then I had a really good like end session. I didn't include it in that video, but about 45 minutes after that, there was like a torrential downpour. And the whole thing got like washed out.
Oh.
Like my bike got drenched. My boots got drenched, my shirt, pants, helmet, camera gear, everything just got he like, it was a messy afternoon,
Yeah.
but it was a good day. It was a good, great day, and all those boys that are in that video too, um, they're all awesome guys too. Some of them, there's one dude in the intro clip, and he's just like, just takes off like a rocket ship. I don't know how he gets that high, but nah. There's something that you'll find as well. It may come across in some of my videos, but just when you're out and about on a bike, the mountain biking community is like insane. Everybody is just there to have fun. Everyone's super supportive. You could go to a trail and there'd be one other person there, and by the end of it, you guys are just like bombing down trails together, having the best time. Like,
Yeah.
everybody just wants to have so much fun. I've met I've met so many people. All the people that I ride with him in my videos, I don't know them prior to riding with them. I only meet them at trails and then go riding with them. It's honestly such a good community.
No, it's awesome. I got a video here, and it's
what do we got?
it's when you did your city ride. You're riding around the city.
Okay.
And the first clip wigs me out every time because I don't know how the hell he didn't stack it, just looking at the way he lands. But the question I've got with this video is you're riding around in the city. Did you get in trouble? Because, like, surely people are going to be cracking the shits with what you guys are doing.
Yes.
Yes?
And no.
No.
Mostly yes. Have you got the video? What do you got?
Yeah, I'll throw it up. Bang. So, this wigs me out because I don't know how he doesn't stack that for sure.
Yeah, so he lands that like 9 times out of 10. He's a psycho, but on that particular day, it was like windy as all hell. So like when he took off, the wind grabbed him, and I think he said that he kind of pulled back on it a little bit, so that he didn't. If he kept going the way he was going, I think he was gonna like go over the bar.
Oh, like that there. Can I? Oh, well, let me go back. Yeah, that bit right there, where he almost wheelies into the guy.
Yeah, so that dude was a dick. That dude, there was a massive gap there. So there was people walking this way. You can't really see it on the film because of the way I cut it, but he was like well over this side. I don't even really see it on the frame. Where is my hand? This one. So he was like well over here, and my friend was like riding through, doing this wheelie, and then the other dude just like ran across to like fill in the gap and was like, "Mate, what do you think you're doing?" And it's like, dude, why'd you do that for? If you had just stayed where you were, it wouldn't have been a problem.
So yeah, right here.
Yeah, so that dude in there, he was like off to the left. Like well and truly off to the left. And he runs in, and then there's a chick in here that I almost hit as well. But
I mean, popping wheelies in a crowded place probably isn't great either, though.
Yeah, but...
It looks like he almost goes to catch the bike, too. Like he goes to grab the bike. That's how it looks, anyway.
Honestly, he's like the most respectful, nicest chill dude ever. That's, what are they called? Allegiance Brisbane, I believe. Right. And they put on, like, city rides. And they're just a chill bunch of dudes that just want to essentially get people on bikes to come out to the city and ride around. So, 95% of the time, super respectful. It's just sometimes, you have fun and it gets away from you. But
then you've also got things like this.
He's not out there to piss people off.
So is this Bracken Ridge or is there another place?
Yeah, no, this is Bracken Ridge.
Okay, because I haven't been there yet, but it looks dope.
Oh yeah, dude, that's shit. That's Nick and that's Tom. That's Max. I don't know who that is. I'm kidding. No, that's me. Oh, I cased the egg out of that.
This was dope because you guys get into mad air.
Yeah, dude. I know.
And this place looks dope. Like I haven't been to it before. Like I've been to the one at Brendale, but I haven't been to this one.
Bike Dad with the steezy rollout. Then we got Staunchy. All the boys, man.
Like he's getting he got so much air, man. He had so much speed coming into that. Oh really?
Yeah, dude. He landed that and broke a spoke on it. There's Logan. That kid's a psycho. I went riding with him today. He's a psycho.
Yeah. No, like.
But yeah.
These are just short. These are just short Instagram clips, by the way. So this is all on your Instagram. And also you tagging everyone in it. And I thought that was dope. Now,
Thanks,
I'm not.
man.
I'm not sure if it's. I swear it was you. Whether it was YouTube or Instagram, I don't remember. But I'm pretty sure it was on yours. That you're riding around like a little open where a house maybe used to be, and this dude's like cracking off about it.
Oh yeah, dude, that's on my TikTok.
TikTok.
I
Okay.
didn't put it on. I didn't put it on YouTube and I didn't put it on Instagram just in case it got like blocked or.
Because
I
yeah,
got, like, a
dude was
strike or something for
going
it.
nuts.
Yeah, man. So that's on my TikTok, but that's like essentially there's like an estate over from my estate, and
Yeah.
for maybe I'd say the last 6 months, maybe there's been houses getting built, but prior to that, the last 15 years I've been riding out there.
Sound up. Sorry, continue.
And no one's ever had a problem with it. And anyway, I was out there. I think I've taken my pit bike out there like 6 or 7 times. No one cares. I just ride around, do like, I don't know, 5 minutes of wheelies because my backyard's too small. And then I just ride home. And everyone in the like area, they all know who I am. No one cares. But on this particular day, old mate wanted to kill me.
So,
yeah,
by
he
the
runs
way,
across
I'm
the
not sure
street
if you
with
know. Purely
know.
cause.
What?
Purely cause. But this has got over 500,000 views.
Oh, do you have it? Oh shit.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
as you can
dude.
see, 623,000.2 views, and by the looks of it, that's your
Dude, it
biggest
blew
one by a
up.
lot. So that's
blew
big,
up.
man. Like
It's
that's.
unfair.
I'm not sure if you made any money off that because of how many views, but
No.
like that's a lot.
No
Here we
way.
go. We'll have a watch.
He's got some language on him, this guy. That's like the second wheelie I did on that too. And then he comes running.
He's got the
at me.
rake.
Yeah, bro. Dude, it's like a. It's not even a rake. It's like a. He had it there. He has to have had it there. He has to have had it on his front yard, ready to come and attack me with it. You see, there's a spare block.
Yeah.
Who cares? It's not like it's a big bike. It's not tearing anyone's property up.
It's okay. There's no need for this.
Well, there is.
There's not.
I wanted to talk to you before.
Dude's an absolute nut job.
Ran at me.
Who in their right mind does this?
Across the road and you fucked off.
I got a camera, buddy.
Like I don't get his problem.
Okay.
I own across bikes.
Yeah, neither do I. Neither does this guy.
Yeah, like says like, what's the problem?
Alright.
He's all good. Yeah, let him go.
Mate, don't come back.
What you don't see is off camera, his son is standing there, and he's like, his son comes out, and he's like, hurry up, mate, fuck off, you're not supposed to be here. And I was like, oh, I'm trying, dude, he just turned my bike off. And he's like, what's that? And he takes his shirt off, throws his shirt on the ground and goes, what, you want to fight? And I was like, no, dude, I'm just trying to leave. He's like, you better effing leave. And I was like, I can't, your dad's on me bike, bro. And then that's when the other dude chimes in, because when I get like annoyed, I go into like kind of like high voice, but then I like kind of like like pronunciate and like produce my voice quite loudly, and then that dude must have heard me being like, "Arr!" And then whatever. But if you go and read the comments, all the comments are either funny or being like, dude, how did you like stay so chill? I was like, I don't know. Dude's a dickhead. He's got a rake. What am I gonna do? And they're like, you got a helmet, man. Just hit him. I was like, no. Then then he calls the cops, and then I'm in the wrong. So
Well, so here's the question:
it was an
have you been
interesting
back?
experience.
Have you been back?
Dude, I wanted to get my mate 650 and go there and just be like, "Rah, rah, 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 rah." And I had so many people in the comments being like, dude, drop the address. We'll go fuck his house up. And I was like, nah, probably won't do that.
That's great.
Oh man, it was so funny, but like a week afterwards, because I always ride with like my tats covered so that people don't know who I am and they can't track me. On that particular day, I was like, oh, who cares? I'll just go for a ride. And I had my leg tat out. And then for like a week, I was like super paranoid because I was like, shit, man, if he drives down like our area and sees my tats, is he gonna come hurt me?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the video, he's like, if I find out where you live, I'm gonna come hurt you. And I was like, oh, okay, thanks, mate. So, dude, I never ride with the Go. Like, I think that was the first time that I rode with the GoPro on my dirt bike helmet, and I was just like, oh, I'll just chuck it on. And you like in the video too, I was like, dude, I'm recording. What are you doing? And he's like, man, I don't care. I'll come hurt you. And I was like, all right, see you on YouTube.
Yeah.
Or TikTok.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'll
with
at
over
some
half a
point,
million
it'll end
views.
up- Yeah, at some point it'll end up on the YouTube as like a throwback to something.
Yeah. Oh, the fact that like I think the other one that I saw there had like 31,000. That was the short version, but over half a million views. Like that's ridiculous. Like drop
Dude,
the
I used to
link
sit
in that
there-
shit. Like come follow my other stuff.
Yeah, right. Well, I got 5,000 followers off of it, but because
Far
the way
out.
TikTok works, unless you follow it up with like another really hectic kind of sketchy video, people don't want to see it. So like, I got like a decent amount of traffic off of it, but now if I upload, because I uploaded for like, I'd say like a week, and then was like, this is too much effort.
Yeah.
So then I just stopped, and now when I upload like sporadically, I get like 200 or 300 views, which
Yeah.
is like, meh, I'll
Look,
take it.
None's better. Some's better than none. You know.
That's right.
Like you got your Channel Films. I got your Channel Films one here, the one that you released. That is all sort of changing. And like this was really well put together. I gotta say.
Thanks, man.
I'm assuming that's Lockie.
There's Loki. Yeah.
Is this as Gay Warden?
Yeah.
So is this
He's
Burping
the
Gary
MVP
or is
of
this?
video. This is at Redcliffe.
Oh, it's Redcliffe.
So
Okay.
this is this is a pretty sweet little skate park just down the street from Lockie, but this is all done in slow mo. Slow mo makes everything look better.
It does.
It's
Looking
good having
jacked.
a really strong brother. Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
You don't even have to get him to do anything. He just stands there and it's like, oh yeah, sure, I'll buy that.
Yeah.
But no, I was really, really pleased with how that one turned out. How'd you feel about the talking on the back of it? Was that alright?
Well, you did explaining what's going on. So like, yeah, it makes sense. You know. Like I'll probably talk over the top of this at some point. You know, you gotta explain what's going on. But the fact that you're there, like explaining that it's all changing, and then announcing the shirts and announcing that it's sort of more of a brand as well as just like a thing, it works out well. Like it blends in nicely.
Sweet.
Like,
That's
don't ever
that's such a
doubt
joke
yourself on
photo,
that
though.
shit, man.
Alright, thanks, man.
As you may have seen in that intro clip,
They're talking about the shirts.
My favorite part of that is, ooh, I have a purple face.
you can pick the color that you want, and it'll come with
The amount of footage that I got for this bit and then cut it down, I think I had like 20, 30 minutes of footage of me just being like, this is awkward. But that's something that comes with it. You get used to knowing it's like you just record everything. Like,
Yeah.
you go somewhere, record as much as you can, get 50 different shots of whatever, because you never know what you're going to want. And that way, when you get it editing, then you can pull it all apart and make it look sick. But yeah, that's the big thing with recording videos. Especially, it's probably different for this, because you're not going to be wanting to get 100 different clips of.
Oh look, I'll
straight
pull
clip, but-
like short little bits into it.
Exactly.
as most-
And
as most
you
things
pull it in
do,
videos
yeah.
and make it interesting, which is sick.
I mean, you'll
But yeah.
sit there talking about the dude trying to attack you with a rake. That'll be a good 2-minute clip. You know, like, no. And the cool thing is as well is, it's as much as it's about mountain biking. Obviously, you're a dope drummer, and you're infusing that into it as well, which is something that. What'd you do?
Oh, my back is stuck to my thing on my saw. Feels great.
How's that feeling now?
Not good.
Yeah.
Not
Like
good.
also you're infusing your music into it too. Now is this gonna have correlation with you guys popping off more stuff for Vaporize, or is this just gonna be your own little thing?
I think it's just gonna be my own little thing. Yeah. At the moment I just want to have like the drumming, because I've been really slack with drumming. Like I think I've probably played drums 5 times in the last year, and I was like, how can I incorporate that? So I was like, all right, I'm gonna try and put up a drum cover once a week. Obviously that hasn't happened because
I mean you got one here from 2 weeks ago, so
I was supposed to do one last week, but you know, things happen. I'll do one this week. What's today? Today's Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, I'll put one out this Friday. Why not?
Yeah. Do it. What are you gonna cover?
I'm thinking I'm gonna do a North Lane song.
Okay.
I was gonna do, what song was it called? I was gonna do. See, I should know the names of these.
You should if you're gonna take.
It was a North Lane song. We'll see. Echo Chamber, I believe, is what I'm gonna do. But there's a couple in there that I'm thinking of doing. But Echo Chamber should be pretty sweet. I think I can play it. But yeah, so it's like, it's different again. So I'm just trying to have as much fun with it as I can. So I don't want to be pinholed back to just mountain biking. I want to have like mountain biking stuff, then also like the music side of things. And then if I come up with something else along the way, people know that it's not just like, this is it and this is the one thing I'm doing. It's like, it's a variety of things. And I'll probably introduce things on my Instagram first to get a feeler for what people are into and what they're not into. But I mean, at the end of the day, if I like it and I want to do it, I'm going to do it.
Well, because at the moment, looking here, you've got 610 followers. So I don't know what your average viewership is, but obviously, as everyone knows from this sort of shit, it's generally significantly less. But
oh, shit less.
Yeah,
shitloads less.
But
but the thing too is like with Dead Set, we had, I think we were like coming up on 800 subscribers on that one. But our viewership was like shot to shit. So you would think for 800 subscribers, even if you were getting like maybe half of those in views, I think that we had 800 subscribers and we might have been getting like 60 or 70 views a week.
Yeah, it's about
which
right.
It's not bad. Like 60, 70 views is not bad, but you shouldn't be doing that when you've got 800 subscribers. Like, what are you doing wrong?
And I would say it's less. I think this is the way social media is with algorithms and all that sort of stuff as well. Is because, like, the amount of people who I'm like, oh, I followed this guy and like I haven't seen any of his videos. Like, what's going on? It's because one, either not posting enough, two, you're not getting the enough views where it's like it's worth their time. So like at the moment, for example, with Sabbath on Twitch, and it's stupid, but I guess it makes sense. Like, he was always good with what he does. Like, his content's always really good. He's a real chill, funny dude. And with his Twitch, he started getting gifted subs, and that's obviously how Twitch and yourself make money, is you gift subs to them.
Yeah.
Well, me and a couple of the other boys started dumping like a decent amount, like a fair bit. And all of a sudden, he's popping up and recommended. And if you look into it, it's because Twitch is making money off you from us giving the gifted subs.
Yeah.
They're going to promote you a bit more because hopefully they'll make more money off you. And that's what it becomes. And it's the same thing with YouTube, TikTok, all that crap. Is what's going to make them money and who are they going to push to do so? You know? And once you start making the money, then they're more likely to push you to make even more money. You know? And that's sort of what it becomes. It's probably the same thing with like the YouTube and stuff. Like, even though you've got 610 and your followership, your viewership may be down, you start getting more people that happen to view. You know, you get, say, 100 followers overnight. They're going to be like, oh, okay, why do you get 100 followers? Okay. And they're going to be like, all right, his viewership's going up too. Interesting. Okay. Maybe we need to push him a little bit more. You know? And that's sort of what it becomes as well. Plus, I know for a fact that, like, why Instagram stories works, for example, is the more you click on that person's story when they're posting, they're going to be the first ones that pop up.
Yeah, 100%. And that's the thing too. With Instagram, like, I've been doing a fair bit of research into it. That's why I'm a lot more active on there in the last, like, maybe week or two, is because I want to grow that. And the only way you can grow that is if you are, like, active as all hell. So it's like, you got to be doing at least 3 or 4 stories a day. You got to be posting reels. Reels are, like, hectic. I posted a reel the other day and got, like, I think I got 2K views on it.
Oh, geez.
I don't have 2K people following me.
No.
But it's like, for some reason, they're just pumping reels at the moment. And so,
that's their answer to TikTok.
Yeah, exactly. And because that's their answer to TikTok, they're like, okay, well, we want to put our reels in front of as many people as we can.
The thing is, YouTube's doing it too, so I think everyone's trying to buy into that market now.
Yeah, I got to start doing shorts, which I'm not a massive fan of because it makes your channel look a bit funny. And, like, if I'm if I say, oh, I'm going to upload twice a week, and then I upload a short, someone's going to go, oh, we've got a new video to watch. Oh, actually, it only goes for a minute. And then it's like, well, you've got an audience of people that want to watch shorts, and you've got an audience of people that want to watch 5 to 10 minute video. So it's like, well, now I gotta do extra. So what I'm trying to work towards now is like, okay, I got reels, and then once I put a reel out and I know how it goes on Instagram, then I'll put that reel on YouTube. But it's just a constant, like, if you're not learning, then you're behind.
Yeah.
You got to stay on top of it always, which is like it's a lot of effort. It's fun. Though.
It's
like,
hard,
I
the editing.
enjoy-
Like, at the moment, I've just started. My mate did a 24-hour stream for charity for Cancer Council, and without him knowing, I actually flew to Adelaide with the fiance and basically stormed his house. Like, his wife knew, like, it was been teed up, but I just like walk in, and he's like, "Oh, what the
That's
fuck?"
sick.
Which was really cool. And like at the moment, like I've got to cut up so many parts of that stream, but we're gonna do it where it's like this game and all the clips of this game, and then this game and all the clips of this game, because obviously there's multiple games, and then just the chatting, and obviously me just rocking up. Because I was gonna do a vlog, and still want to. It's just the effort of wanting to put it in, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Because obviously there's a lot of editing that you got to do, a lot of videos. Like, we made one for him already, which turned out really well. I've got a lot of really good responses to it, which is just, I'm like, hey, you film your trip to Queensland, I'll film some shit on the camera on my phone, and I'll put a vlog together for you. And it actually, like, turned out really well, so pretty happy with that.
Yeah,
So we'll start on that, and obviously stuff with this as well, because, you know, build this up. But, yeah, I mean, you're putting reels out, obviously, and from what you're saying, they're obviously popping out pretty well, which is good, which is what you want to hear. Are you seeing more followers come through with it?
I am, but I'm also losing them at the same time, which is really strange. Like,
That's really odd.
I think I was at like 600 the beginning of the week, and then I went up to 620, and now I'm back at 610, which doesn't make a great deal of sense. But I mean, any growth is good growth, right? So maybe they're bot accounts that are getting deleted. I do get a lot of bot accounts following me, which is what's fun.
No, I get my shitty thing with Instagram at the moment is I'll magically go from following 300 people to 500 people, and I'm like, how'd this happen? Like, this isn't like I'm going through my stories. I'm like, I don't know who this person is. This is like all in Arabic. Like, what? I don't know. What the hell is this?
Yeah,
and like,
dude,
I look it
how
up.
weird is that, right?
I look it up, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's like you're just gonna keep unfollowing these people. It literally got to the point where I was unfollowing that many people that Instagram's like, hey, you've unfollowed a lot of people today.
Yeah. You've unfollowed 50 people today. That's enough for you.
Yeah, it's like you've unfollowed
I don't want to follow them.
Yeah, like you've unfollowed like 200 people. You should probably you're done for the day. And I don't know these people. Like, why am I following them? Like, what? Like, I changed my password and everything, and it still keeps happening. And I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, what is mockery? I don't want to follow these people.
Like, there's like this thing at the moment with like Canadian German bots. And it's like, oh, I'm a single lady from Canada. And it's like, no, you're not. Stop following me.
Yeah.
And then I get like 10 of them a day. And it's like, oh, block, 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 block.
Yeah, that's crazy. Hello. How you going? So if anyone who's like, the fiance's just knocked on the door, how can I help you? Okay, she's not giving me an answer. But
I did give you an answer.
rightio. But yeah, like it has sort of felt for me watching it that you've gone from, I don't want to say nothing because that's wrong, but like something very small to now I've got a feeling, and whether you've got the same feeling with what you're doing, is it's going to make an impact. Because again, I don't see any mountain bike things, whether it's on my small amounts of time I spend on Instagram or TikTok. I don't see it on Facebook. I don't see it on YouTube. Whether or not it's because that's the analytics and it's not coming up, I don't know. I've never gone looking for it, but your stuff's popping up more frequently, and it's good stuff where I'm actually paying attention to it. Not that I wasn't before,
awesome.
but definitely more engaging now. And I hope that whether it's this, whether it's, you know, you keep going strong, don't let it fizzle out because it's good stuff. Same as vaporize. Bring that shit back. Don't let it vaporize. Like, like,
Yeah, dude.
oh, that was so shit.
Yeah.
Like, keep
That
that
was
shit,
good.
keep
Love
that
a
shit
good dad
coming.
joke.
Yes, like keep that shit going. Like I'll keep this going because it's good. Your shit's good. Um, like I
100%.
think
I
what
hope
you're
you have me
posting.
back as well.
Hmm.
I said I hope you have me back.
Yeah. Look,
Further
like,
down the track.
like for anyone who like, I don't hate it. I don't like the whole online thing. But that's why, so if anyone, he's not seeing me directly, he's seeing what you guys see at the moment. So, this makes life easier for everyone, just because of the way I'm doing it. Yeah, he's seeing what he's seeing. But I've tried to make it look as good as I can and make it flow and look nice, where I don't really need to edit much, thankfully, because I've got all these things that already help. If I want to put a green screen, there's a green screen right next to me if I wanted to. Like, yeah, it's literally just a big one. It's fucking dope. It's one of those Elgato ones. I got a lot of Elgato stuff from streaming. Spent a lot of money that I shouldn't. But, like, my camera, for example, $1,400 camera. But I look good, so I can't complain. Like, something needs to make me look good, because this ain't natural. This is the camera. Like, so it's the effort you put in. Like, has someone put, like, a thing like this that we're seeing up before? Yeah, you know what? Probably. Has someone put the name thing that's come up for you? No, that was something I made, and it looks dope, and it's something I like. And
No, it looks sick. I'm gonna steal it.
You know, see, I'll make you something. We'll talk about it.
Your YouTube channel isn't up yet. I'm gonna flog it. I'm gonna put it out as my own, and no one will know.
Oh
And
yeah.
then everyone will think that you stole
you
it
know
from
you know
me.
how to use After Effects, mate? Is that?
No.
Exactly. But like, yeah, so like I got that, and that's different to what I see other people doing, and you know, there's other things I can make with that, but it's something I know, it's something I can put into it, and thankfully for having a stream deck, I can just push a button and it pops up. Same as how we can fade across to watching videos. Like, it's a very Twitch way of doing things, but it flows in well
I've
with.
never seen anyone do it.
Well, that's the thing. I've watched people do it, and it's very edited and choppy, and like you can tell that it's been edited. Whereas, again, I'm gonna say it because I love his podcast. Rogan's is just a conversation that flows. The only time it cuts is if someone needs to go to the toilet mid podcast. And it flows well. Same as Isaac Butterfield's. And then to the point I was gonna get is I'm not the biggest fan of this, but I made it what I can. Eventually, I'd like to get a proper setup where I've got enough cameras and stuff. That's not a problem. But like lighting and I'd like to put my TV somewhere where it'll work. Like, a bit hard at the moment, but eventually that's what we'll get to. So yes, to having you back. Just hopefully we can do it in person next time. Because
Definitely, mate.
obviously there's gonna be
Look forward to
people
it.
who I look forward to talking to. Whether or not I've asked them yet, different story. But I'd like to talk to them, and they're probably more people that I wouldn't be able to have online. But there'd be people I'd have in person, and I think that would be cool. So eventually, I'll get that
definitely,
happening
100%.
because it's
I hope so.
a lot
You
more
will.
intimate.
I don't hope so. I know so.
Yeah,
We'll do it.
like it's just if this takes off and does well, and my brain clicks with it and goes, "Yep, cool. This is how I can do it." So I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'll get a desk," and then I like look at the desk and look at the TV, and I'm like, "That desk is so much high. Like that's halfway through the TV, so the people wouldn't be able to see the TV." And it's like, there's ways I could do it realistically, but like way Rogan does it, and look, maybe it could work, but
Just
excuse
remember,
me.
you're not Rogan. So
I'm not
take
Rogan.
ideas from him.
I
but
don't-
make it Zach.
Exactly. And it's like, how can I make it flow well? And we'll get to that eventually. But, I've also got 3 birds that like to squawk and 3 dogs that like to bark. And, I have to buy another microphone that ain't cheap. But I know how to run everything through it. It's like, there's work that needs to be done. This is only the first one. I'd like to think I'm doing a decent job so far.
Oh, 100%,
Appreciate
bro. You're killing
appreciate
it.
you coming on. Because, again, like as I said, people may not know who you are, but hopefully however many people see you and go, "Oh, that's pretty cool shit." Whether it's, "Hey,
I'm
even I
honestly
just like
keen
the
to
shit."
watch this back.
So, I mean, I'm
It's
gonna
gonna
watch
be
it.
interesting.
I'll probably like put it in a way that I can like listen to it tomorrow, and I'll be like, "Oh my fucking god, I'm a dickhead." Like I hate watching unless I'm like in a wrestling character. I can watch myself wrestle all day. Like that may sound very arrogant, but like I'll say it. The way I do it is I watch it once as a fan, and then the other 2 times I'd break down different parts of the match. that's just because I like
definitely.
self-critique and I'll send my videos and all that stuff. But like, I do like watching myself wrestle. I'm not gonna lie. It's
Good.
because here's
I
the
watch
thing.
myself because I love myself.
Well, you gotta love yourself. You know, self-love's a big thing. You get a lot of people in the world nowadays that don't. But it's like.
Anyway, sorry, sidetrack.
You're all good. You're all good. So like, that's a thing. So I might hate this because this is just me talking, and that's very weird. Because sometimes I even look back at like a phone call, I'm like, fuck, I just didn't shut up. Like, what the fuck? Come on, man. it's like you just know the other dudes on the other. Yep, yep, still going. Okay, yep, Like it's like I feel so bad, but it's like it's a bit of fun. But like this is a different platform, as you would have seen before I actually like hit record. I started shitting bricks because I'm like, I like putting myself out there. Like unless it's a wrestling match, that's not really me putting myself out there. That's not Zach Hyde. That's Zach Reynolds, and Zach Reynolds doesn't give a fuck. Zach Hyde does.
That's right.
And that's why it was such a big thing for me to be like, this isn't Zach Reynolds. Like, yes, I'm Zach Reynolds. Yes, there'll be wrestling stuff, but this is Zach Hyde. And that's a big leap for me. So this is actually pretty cool. And, you know, my motivation's still like, I'm here going, because I know who the next guest is, just saying, is like, I can't wait for that one. Like, I want to film that one too. Because, like, this one's been good. I've enjoyed the flow of this, you know. So thank you for that. It's been good chat, but a natural chat.
Easy, bro.
But I can't wait for the next one. And I think that's a big thing that I haven't had. There was never a point where like, I'm keen to stream. I can't wait. I can't wait for tomorrow to stream again. I never had that.
Dude, that's definitely
like, it was something cool.
A massive part of it.
Well, like, that's the thing is like, no one gets up and goes, I can't go to work. I can't wait to go to work tomorrow. Unless it's like
Fuck that.
a job that you love. And it's like, and as I said to you earlier, it's such a cliche line, but like, when you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. And as much as that was a lol, but like, you're enjoying this stuff with the bikes. And this, I'm enjoying so far. You know, I could get shit feedback because I'm fucking horrible at it. Cool. I'm enjoying it. I'll take the critique and figure out what I need to figure out.
That's right.
But for now,
Take the good with
I'm
the
enjoying
bad.
it. Exactly. Someone's opening up a can of Pepsi. Not sure if you heard that or not, because this has been my biggest drama, and I'll say this right now, my biggest drama with this thing today, because I was trying to play with the microphone. It was super sensitive. There was a dog barking at the back, and you could hear it like it was right next to the microphone, and this was like zero gain, and it was doing my head in right before work. Like, the logo was pretty easy. Like, the logo was funny for me to make. Because, like, it was a photo, I'll orange it, because orange is sort of my wrestling thing at the moment. If you don't know and you can't see, my thing's green. I love green. But wrestling thing's been orange, got to tie it in somehow. They'll be green, you know, I can make the lights green if I wanted to. But
The setup at the moment looks good. I would leave it how it is.
I'm enjoying it.
But
Like, the lights, I
blue
was
and
playing with-
purple.
that's the thing, is it's actually blue. So the lights, if I move, they're just blue. Like, both of them are blue at the moment. But because I've got...
Oh, well, the backdrop looks purple.
Well, that's the thing. Because I've got my light on above me, it's one of those, like, Genio lights that can change colour and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I've got it orange, but it's faint, so it hits and it blends really well. And then I've got, like, hexagon lights above me. Because I've got a poster of Chester, a not broken, but like it's broken up, like Pennywise thing, because I'm big on Pennywise. That's all next to me. All my stuff's here. It used to be there, but now it's here. And then I've got like lights around that to sort of like light it up. And that's what's lighting me up at the moment. So I don't need like a ring light or anything. But yeah, it's
That's sick.
cool. And then I'm like, oh, I want to find a dope orange background. So I found that. It was pretty cool. I made the orange thing on top of that and transparented it. And
Hey, presto, there it is.
bang! There's
Kablamo.
3-4 hours this morning making all these things. But look, it's
Everything
turning out
takes longer
well.
than you expected to.
Look, it went so quick because I was enjoying what I was doing, and that's the thing. Is usually
Well, that's good.
I got to the point where I was enjoying editing, but then I was editing for a wrestling company, and I don't say taken for granted, but I was doing a lot, and it started to burn me out. So I was
Yeah, 100%.
not enjoying it as much anymore. So that's why, I feel bad for Sabbath, because like I said, I'd help him with his YouTube, but it really burnt me out. Like, because I was like enjoying it, but I'm sick of putting all this time into editing, which I mean, it's a thing. And I used to love it, and you know what? I'll probably love making clips of this and going back through this because I enjoy putting like wrestling matches together, and I enjoy making my entrance video because that was really cool for me, and that's a lot of time and effort. But you know, that's something also really cool. Like, not a lot of people see it. You know, it's one of those things. Actually, I will bring it up because I do enjoy my video, and I will show
Yeah,
it
you should.
because it's
Sick.
unplugged
Get ready.
this. You gotta-
Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh, calm down, fucking hell.
presenting
Nah, don't need to do that. Nah, plug the USB in that has all the shit on it.
the one,
Actually, I'll just.
the only,
Actually, can I? No, probably not on this one. Not auto recording.
Zach Reynolds.
Rightio.
Is that right?
Yeah, look, it's close. I'll give you it. Where is it?
Zach Natural Selection Reynolds.
What? No, I'm not doing it.
Nah, sorry, bro. Don't do that. You can cut that out.
Nah. Plug in. What is going on? Right, there we go. So, I don't think you've ever seen it. So that's probably a good thing. Where is it? So you probably won't hear the
Remember, I'm
music.
not gonna be able to hear it.
Yeah, you're not
Yeah,
going
that's
to hear
right.
it. But
I'll just hum along in
vi-
my head.
visually, it's alright. So like, ooh.
How'd you get the letters to that? That what the fuck? That's you. You got red hair.
Yeah. Hold on. So at that time, I'll get rid of that because that's all done with now. But yeah, at the time I was dying a lot, but now it's like I won't be able to hear you now. Oh, okay. So it's not. Yeah, still got roots. So it's still sort of red. I'm going for the natural hair color to come back,
I
but
was like, shit, that
I
dude
was
looks
red.
mean,
Hold on.
and then I was like, wait, that's you.
yeah. So now I used to dye my hair like red. Which you know, the thing with wrestling is it's a lot of guys in tights. So you got to stand out somehow. And that's really the hard part. And especially with me, I've always been told, you're just missing something. So at the time, like, you got all this, you got the talent, you're just missing one thing, just something. So I'm like,
Never
okay,
tell
well,
you what it is.
because they don't know what it is. And that's the thing. I never knew what it is. So I'm still searching. Like, my wrestling's coming up and getting better. But now it's a matter of, okay, well, I'll dye my hair because no one has red hair. I'll get dope tracks into the back of my head. Shout out to Caleb Sheeran of Barbers and Glory for that one in Maryborough. Because like he would do like some dope stuff in my hair, man. I'm like, it's that. And I'm like, then I was wearing that gear at the time, and now I don't wrestle with a shirt on because thanks to Marcus Pitt, my body went from COVID weight and it's coming down. I'm at 97 and I started at 120. So I'm at 97 now.
Shit, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm doing really well at the moment. Still
You
in
look
fat loss
fit,
phase.
You look healthy.
I'm feeling it at the moment, man, which is really cool. Which is something I haven't really had. But yeah, waters. So yeah, I've done some wrestling without a shirt now, and I'm like, okay, so maybe it could be the tights. So now I've got like shorts coming now because I feel more comfy in shorts. I feel like I look better in shorts. Everything's gonna be like custom made, knee pads, kick pads, all that stuff. So I'll look, and I've got big footy player legs. I've played footy for 15 years. So those are still gracefully stuck with me this whole time. So it's like, you know, I'll try and show those off a little more in shorts with the knee pads and kick pads. Just try and stand out a little more. Because maybe it's the gear, maybe it's the fact that I'm not jacked and don't have a six pack, but that's coming. Shit takes time. But like, I'll find it. You know, at the moment with no wrestling, it's a little harder to keep yourself going. You know, I try and get to training. Sometimes I'll get there. At the moment with COVID running through everything, I've got a disabled sister. My mum stays at home because her immune system's shot. So like, I can't really risk getting it because my fiance is my sister's carer. So if I get it, she gets it, pass it on to them, we're fucked.
Yeah.
But yeah, so gotta look after the sister in that essence, which is awesome. 'Cause,
Definitely. 100%.
it's all a gift. But yeah, so I just gotta be careful with everything, which kind of sucks. But I walk in and out of banks every day, so I can't risk that either. Gotta be careful with that shit. Because you pass it on to banks. Well, how many people go into a bank a day? A lot.
A lot.
You pass it on to one of their workers. You pass it on to their workers. They're all casual workers, so they work at different banks every day. Generally, some of them, and it's like you've just spread it to thousands of people very easily.
That's right. I wouldn't hold
Yeah.
that responsible on one person, though. I think it's coming regardless. Everyone's going to get it sooner or later.
That's the thing.
Which is unfortunate.
Well, like you get some people like, same with the vaccine. Like you get some people who have no symptoms. Some people have mild symptoms. Some people who get hit by a bus with it. Like the first time I had a shot, just felt fatigued, arm was fucked. That was it. Second time I got it, I was fucked for the day after. I was rooted.
Yeah, but
And some people are like, I was fine. I'm like, well, that's weird how, different people, but that's crazy how it works like that. Anyway, we're not going to go on about COVID because I think that's been...
you'll get your video, like...
Oh, yeah, they'll get in trouble.
YouTube thing on it being like, yeah, listen to the correct COVID information, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah, it's
get your
crazy.
video.
But yeah, look, don't want to go back because, like, it's obviously done enough for a lot of people. And I'd rather try and spread positive shit. And COVID's been
That's good.
meh. So, keep the chat going and fucking good shit. So, what's next with Charmer Films? Is there...
Next
have
for
you got,
Charmer
like,
Films.
obviously you got a schedule of, like, you're going to keep going out and doing bike stuff. But is there, like, a next step, almost? Is there, like, so what's the next step for you in your eyes? And then what's the goal?
The goal ultimately is to make it sustainable. I don't want to be like buying houses and shit with YouTube money. I just want to be able to essentially pay for like my bike or like pay for like a trip to maybe like Whistler or something. But that's like 2 or 3 years down the track. I'm not really looking at that as like I'm not looking at this as a sustainable source of income for the short term to even long term. I'm mainly doing it because it's fun. Next for Charmer Films is just really getting good on the bike, essentially. Just putting the actual proper effort in. I'm riding 3 or 4 times a week now instead of for an hour on a Saturday. My fitness at the moment is increasing. I'm really wanting to get into racing. So at the moment, my skills are just not there. I can jump a little bit now after today, but I need more practice. I need to put in mad time on the bike and really hone my skills. I need to learn how to do all the things that it takes to race. But I'd say this year we'll be building my skills as a rider and as a creator and as everything else to being hopefully ready to race downhill next year and do quite well at it. And then beyond that, I just want to get out and ride with people. That's really the whole premise of the channel and premise of everything that I want to do is just get out and have fun. I don't know if I have an end goal as of yet. I haven't really sat down and said, all right, this is where I am. This is where I want to be. I know that a lot of people say that if you don't have goals, then you'll never be successful. But for me, the goal at the moment is just to enjoy it, just use it as like a stress reliever for myself. I don't have a job at the moment. I left my job so I can focus on just putting time into myself and putting time into this channel and giving it a proper go. So yeah, what's next for Charmer Films is watch this space and see where we go. It's just come along for the ride. Come out.
Yeah.
Get on a bike. Zach's coming out for a ride.
Oh,
I'm
here
gonna
we
make
go.
it.
Oh.
Zach's gonna be on the Instagram soon. Don't you worry.
Oh, look.
He's
Yeah,
coming.
maybe. We'll see how we go. See how
Good
we go.
things though. Good things.
Because life's busy at the moment with work, but it's not even, work's not even the thing that's keeping me busy, which is fucking crazy. At the moment, they got Young Rock season 2 going, and I'm like a background extra in that. So that's where a lot of my like full like 6 to 12-hour days are at the moment. It's just on a set, which, you know,
That's
cool
sick.
experience. Something I've never experienced before. Turns out apparently I'm actually decent at it because they keep asking me to come back specifically.
Fuck yeah.
Not a gloat, just legitimately facts that I was told by my extras casting. But yeah, look, that's fun. Yeah. Obviously I'm not a main role, so I can't really gloat. But you know, that's fun. That's different. But yeah, look, I'll put some fucking air in the tires. I'll grab the bike from the parents' place, and we'll sort something out. Actually,
Excellent.
speaking
No rush,
of,
no rush. In your own time. In your own time.
like, have you been
Don't
to the
have
one
to
at
do it
Brendale?
tomorrow.
Have you been to the track at Brendale?
Brendale BMX jumps,
Mm.
like the racetrack.
Yeah.
Oh, yep. I was there when I was about 14 and went over the bars. I was there when I was about 16. Went over the bars on the same jump.
Okay, so
And
it'd
I
probably
was
be very
there-
different now because that would have been when it was dirt. Now it's not
I
dirt
do
anymore.
need to go there. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
one of the dudes I ride with. He races there, so I'll
It's
probably do
good,
a
man.
video
Like, they've
there
got some
in the
big
next
jumps
month or
there.
so.
I throw the BMX.
Yeah.
Not the BMX. I don't ride BMX. I ride the mountain bike, and I've taken the mountain bike there 1,000 heaps, and it's actually pretty fun there. So I don't mind it. I haven't been there
Yeah,
obviously ages.
I might take the dirt jumper there because I'm decent at the pump track now, so maybe that
Yeah.
will collate into BMX jumping.
Yeah. Well, it looks
But yeah,
looks like there'd be bigger jumps than the Breckenridge
Brendale.
one.
The bloody the bracket.
Yeah.
One. Yeah,
It
I'd
looks
say
a
they
little
would
more
be.
full on. Yeah, it's a little more full on, which is kind of cool.
Mm.
But yeah,
Definitely.
no, it's good like that. So yeah, also you got your goal, and that's the thing is like everyone who's like, oh, what's the end goal? I didn't ask that question because that's when people expect that there's gonna be an end. Like when I hit here, like everyone should have like you said your big goal. You want to get to the point where you're a good rider and you can go to Windsor, whatever you said that place was. It's like you said it real fast. I'm like something with a W.
Yeah,
Like, you wanna go
it's, what's it called? Oh, my light turned off. It's how long we've been going for, bro.
2 hours
job.
37 minutes.
Oh, that's how long this thing has as a lifetime.
There you
That's
go.
all right. Yeah, it's called Whistler. It's in Canada. They
Okay.
do snowboarding there and they do mountain biking. I would like to go for both, preferably, since I like
Hmm.
snowboarding as well. But that would be, I think that's about 2 years away.
Well, see, like with that,
Put
like
together and connect and
that,
ride.
that's the big goal. But it's like there's always going to be more goals along the way, especially
Oh,
if you want to
yeah,
like do
dude.
well. Like I doubt Mr. Beast, for example, who's making millions, is like, oh yeah, I'm a good. I'll just keep doing the same thing. Like no, he's constantly thinking, you know, like there's always a new goal. Like if someone says
Oh, yeah,
an end
100%.
goal, that means they're not going as far as they want. They can, if they go like, this is my main goal, cool, because when you hit that, there's going to be another main goal after that. And
And
that's
goals
just
are
like this.
changing as well.
Exactly. Like, my goal was to start making decent money off Twitch. Like, my life's been so sporadic at the moment, I don't know. With this, my goal is, same thing as you with this, your YouTube, is have fun. And you want to build a community, I want to have dope chats with people, with whether it's spoken to them 1,000 times, speaking to them a couple times, or I've never spoken to them. Like, people can take shit away from anything that is happening here. Like, whether there's some dude who's like, yo, BMX is pretty cool, but I really don't know how to do much. Well, they can watch your stuff and join your community. Or music, same thing. They can always relate to someone and
Or
Take-
wrestling, or
wrestling,
gym,
or,
or wanting to have a chat with someone.
yeah.
Liking someone that's charismatic, that's you, mate.
The
charismatic
thing
to
is,
the T.
this is the crazy thing though. I am not charismatic at fucking all. Like, that's the thing. Like, I'm not. Like, you.
If someone, no, but that's if you're willing to sit down and talk to someone and you enjoy talking, and if you can be genuine with someone, that's charismatic. In my opinion, if you can sit down and talk to someone and genuinely talk to them, and genuinely listen to what they have to say, which is essentially what you're wanting to create.
That's what a podcast is, yeah.
I think that exactly. I think you may not see it, but you're
Yeah,
a very charismatic dude.
Yeah, I don't see
and
me
it's very easy
charismatic
to
at
get
all.
on with you. So that it
No, I
feeds,
appreciate
it's like
that.
a radiance.
See, I
Cool.
don't personally feel that. I feel like I'm a bit of a fucking idiot. But,
I think everyone feels that way about themselves.
yeah, like, this thing was an overnight, like, I'd always thought about it, but it was very overnight. Bang, pull the trigger. I'm doing it. And then for you to be like so keen to be like, yeah, no, we'll tee it up tomorrow night. I'm like, fuck it, you know. It like gives me no reason not to do it, you know. Now I've already got a
Yeah, 100%.
guest booked in. All right, get your fucking ass on the computer tomorrow morning. Get up, build some shit to make it. Figure out how you want to do this thing where it looks good and you're comfortable with it. Because at the moment, look, I'm comfortable with it. Much rather get to the point where I can do it in person. But I've got to a point where I'm now comfortable with it. But you know, like sitting in this chair, it's comfortable at the start, but eventually it becomes uncomfortable. Like, I'm comfy now. Like, I bought a good chair, but like, that's the thing, is comfort always changes. So like today, like I knew I had these lights, and I'm like, I set all these up today. I'm like, okay, now how's the lighting gonna look? I'm like, bang, throw something behind me instead of a green screen, because green screens are cool and all, but lighting looks dope, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out because I was playing with that for about half an hour before you hopped on.
Way cooler than a green screen every day of the week.
Well, like my green screen when I did the streaming was just my entrance video behind me, so there's like always something going on behind me, whereas there's not really anything happening here. So I don't mind that either. It turns out well. Yeah, like it just blends in well with everything, and I do appreciate you calling me easy to get along with, like charismatic and all that stuff. Like that means a lot because like I don't usually hear that stuff, and this wasn't
Easy, bro.
something that I don't know. I wasn't sure how this was going to go, and it's flowed really well, and it's been a really good chat, and I really, really appreciate you being so eager to come on.
That's easy, dude. And honestly, the cool thing is too, like, I didn't know how this was gonna go. I came into this with zero expectations, and this has honestly been like such a sick chat. Like, I really, really vibe of like I fucking hate that word, but I really like having good chats with people, and this has been a really sick chat. This would be up there. If I still drank alcohol and was drinking through this would be like one of those like, oh man, remember that time when? I mean, it'll still be one of those, but you know.
Well, I think that's the cool thing. Like,
man, I fucking love you, bro. It's like that. But
well, like, I don't think we've ever had a conversation this. You and I have never had a conversation this long in a fucking lifetime. But it's like it's cool because like we do have that history, which is something that I sort of wanted to bring into a first episode. It ties in with everything, you know. I can tie in mind you. Most guests, I'm probably going to be able to tie in wrestling into because that's a lot of where I am as a person now. I've got footy as well, yeah, but wrestling nowadays is definitely me, so I can tie that in. And then, you know, like a lot of the guests that I've got lined up, one of the guys was a dude who trained under me, for example. Like I was his trainer at wrestling. Then I got to talk to him. We're good buddies now, but the dude's got like an awesome backstory as well, and like. You and I, as a friendship, we have an awesome backstory because it's like you're my teacher, and then I'm like, hey, you want to like a gig, like, and it sort of just snowballs on. It's like it's random how shit falls crazy. Out. Well, like, that's the thing is like people see this and go, I don't know who the oh, this is Zach and some dude I don't fucking know. Well, it's like cool, but actually fucking give it a chance. Actually listen to it because it's might be may find it funny, might not. You might think. Some of the shit that we're talking about is cool, may not. Like, but it's something that just because you don't know someone doesn't mean they're not interesting. And I think that's 100%. The big thing.
I think if anything, it makes them more interesting.
Exactly, because you don't know what to expect.
The fact that you don't know who they are, exactly.
Like, I'll type in fucking, you're in my drum, do a bit of a fucking quick write up. But that's not going to tell exactly how the fucking conversation went. That's not going to tell exactly how how it blends in with everything, but like,
I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. I think people will enjoy watching this, and especially like the more guests you get on, they'll tell people, and then people will be like, "Hey, I know that guy. I'm actually interested in what he has to say," and then they'll go and watch it, and even if they just chuck it on in the background and listen to it, I guess that's what podcasts are all about, right? But
I mean that's my drive. Like, I got to the point where for training, where I was coaching wrestling, I was driving 3.5 hours. To Harvey Bay, 3.5 hours back twice a week. So it got to the point where I got kind of sick of... I love music. Like, I got a fucking Linkin Park tattoo on my fucking arm. I fucking love music.
Hell yeah.
But it got to the point where I'm like, I'm so fucking sick of listening to music. So, and always obviously like Joe Rogan. Isaac Butterfield's got a dope one as well. Tried to get in some wrestling ones.
Butterfield effect.
Yes, love him. Or the Cancel Me Now stuff is really good. I really enjoy his Cancel Me Now stuff. Especially that one with Spaniel was actually really interesting. Because like that's the thing as well. Is, like you get people who have like different walks of life. Like he obviously went to jail, and I'm like, that's interesting. And they talk about that, and like that shit's interesting. Like, not everyone's gonna know who the fuck Spaniel is, but they know who Isaac Battlefield is, so they might listen to it. You know, just because they don't know who you are, I hope I'll put this as a clip. I hope you watch this because this has been a good chat. It's been interesting as hell. Like, the shit that we cover is awesome. Like, give this stuff a chance because regardless if you know me personally, you know me as a wrestler, you know Braidan, you don't know Braidan, like, it's an interesting chat. And oh, look at it. And like, yeah, I don't even know where the hell I'm going with this, but it's like, give it a crack, give it a listen. You like it? Awesome, sweet. I'm gonna have more coming out. He'll be back on here eventually. You know, you might even see a video of me stacking a bike soon. Who knows? Like,
you'll definitely see one of me stacking a bike.
Yes, can't wait to see you go back first into a tree. Which he's still feeling. But yeah, like, it's awesome. Like, I came into this with, now I'm gonna butcher this line completely, but it was actually from the latest Spider-Man movie, which is fucking awesome. Isn't it? Yeah, great movie. Great movie.
Ever,
oh
bro.
man,
anyone who doesn't like that movie can.
I haven't heard of anyone not liking the movie. Everyone who I've like spoken to is like, it was fucking sick.
Oh, I know someone.
But it's like bullshit. Oh, hold on. We'll get back. But it's the one that Zendaya says, where it's like, if you expect failure, you're never disappointed. Yeah. And it's like, it's so true though, because like with this, I'm recording it now. I feel good about it. I'm enjoying myself. You said you're enjoying yourself. You know, this is almost 3 hours when we were planning an hour to 2 hours, but it's been fucking good anyway. It's gonna be a bitch to upload, but it's been fun. Like, thank God.
Make sure to export it in 2K. That way you get really nice quality, but then it'll take like 3 days for it to render. It's great.
That's cool. I'll leave my computer on. I don't care. But like, you know, I forgot where I was going with this. I've completely lost it. Where was I?
Expect the worst. Nothing bad will happen.
Exactly. And it's like, I don't know how people are gonna watch this. Friends, family may not. Like, maybe people who've never known who the hell I am, and it just happens to stumble across. Hi, but like, it's yeah, who knows, you know? But it's like, even if people are like, meh, I didn't like it. Guess what? I enjoyed the chat, and the amount of like, it became a thing where it's like, I enjoy talking to people, and I've probably said this already, but I enjoy talking to people, and it's the same thing with like why I did Twitch. I enjoy gaming, so why not just record yourself doing it and post it?
Exactly.
Twitch became
the world we live in, bro.
Like
everything's online.
Twitch became more than just playing a game and recording yourself, and I think that's sort of where the disconnect disappeared. Whereas, you know, you're talking to people who are typing to you, whereas I'm here with you right now. We're live responding to each other, kinda. There's probably a bit of delay for you, but like, in visuals anyway, vocally you're hearing me direct.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I honestly, up until right now, have forgotten that we were like doing a podcast.
That's the best type then. Like, that's the best part. Like I keep looking over, I'm like, oh fuck, that's right, I'm recording. Like, I completely forget myself. I'm like, yeah, oh, that's right, hold on. Like, because I can see it in the corner of my eye. But it's like, it's just been a mad chat. And I think that's the best part with it, is
that's good.
just because fucking
natural.
It's been a natural chat, exactly. It's been a natural chat. Even with the technical glitch that keeps popping up that I'll need to figure out at some point, where I can just push the button and it doesn't just fucking pop up every time I swap. But that's okay. It works out well, regardless. Yeah, alright, I'll push for that. So, also your goals, you've got them set. And so if anyone wants to like go riding with you, because obviously you're trying to build that community, how would you like them to do that? Because obviously it's not as simple as like, hey, you know where I ride, and it's like, no, I don't. So it's like, where's the
message on Instagram? You want to go for a ride? Let's go for a ride.
There you go. That's how you guys do it. If you ever want to go for
Simple
a
as
ride.
that. I'm at the Brackenridge Pump Track like all the time. But honestly, best thing to do, you want to come for a ride? Screw it. Send me a message on Instagram. I mean, if you're above a certain age bracket, it's probably less sketch. That being said, a lot of the kids that I ride with are like 15, 16 years old. So if you want to go for a ride, shoot me a message on Instagram and just Brackenridge Pump Track. Yeah, or anywhere else. If you know a cool spot, hit me up. We'll go do some trails. I was at Castle Hill today. That place is sick.
So how'd that
I
go?
hate
Because
going
obviously,
to my bar.
obviously you ate shit. So obviously we haven't got the film, but give us. I don't know if the video will be out by the time this does, because I'm gonna try and get this up by the weekend. Because I'm just gonna try and smack this the fuck out. Because why not?
Why not? That's right. Get on
So
it.
explain what the fuck happened. Because you were telling me today, and I can't lie. I like seeing people fail. This, yeah.
I don't have an answer for that. Is there something else I can help with?
Shut up, Alexa.
No, Siri, it's on the Apple Watch. I keep forgetting I haven't got my
okay.
full thing because I've cut it down.
Apple.
So it's on Apple Watch, and she doesn't shut the fuck
Right.
up when you just talking something random. It'll be like, "Hi, I can't help you with that," or it's like, "Hi, yes, I can show you a chicken." It's like, what? Like, I'm just talking about what I'm having for dinner. But yeah, so explain what happened, because it sounds pretty funny. But you tried to catch yourself, and that almost made it worse.
Yeah, so basically, we're at the top of a black diamond trail, and
So explain what that is as
essentially
well
it's
for
a
people
run.
who don't know
Oh
what
yeah,
trail biking
so
is.
generally you got a green trail, which is like you're just riding on the street. It's boring. Then you got a blue trail, which is like maybe some humps and jumps, and you can still get through it. You can roll through the whole thing generally. And then you've got usually there's like a red trail, I think, which is like in between black and blue, which is like do it if you are good, and there might be some gaps that you have to jump or some drops that you have to go off. You could get hurt, but if you're a decent rider, you'll be fine. Then there's black diamond, which is hectic. It's like this is you need to be good at riding, otherwise you probably shouldn't do this track. And then there's double black diamond, which is like just don't even bother. Just you're gonna die. This is here to hurt you and cause you pain. So I think from memory, see, I don't quite remember. I don't think today was double black. I think it was just black diamond. And we climbed up the hill, and I said to one of the dudes that was there, I was like, this says black diamond. Are you sure you want to start on that? And he's like, oh, yeah, well, last time I was here, I rode into that tree, and then it was all over Facebook, and it was funny. But we'll be fine. Don't worry. It's nothing. I was like, oh, all right. Guess I'll go at the back of the pack then. So I switched the GoPro on, dropped in. It wasn't that bad. It went around a berm, went off. There's a thing called a double, which is just like 2 jumps, and you take off this one and land on this one. And then there was like a double, like a tabletop, which is just like a tabletop, up, flat, down. Went off that. That was fine. And then there was a drop. Drops are good. Love doing drops. Went off a drop. It was probably maybe half a meter of a drop. Pretty easy. And then I didn't realize there was a berm behind it. And so a berm for anyone is just a corner. It's like you go wee, and you usually just keep going all right the way around, and then you are safe. But yeah, so basically I went off the drop too fast. Wasn't paying attention, I guess. Rode over the back of the berm, and then there was a bunch of dead trees. My bike hit the trees on the ground, and I went over my bars on my bike and was like, Superman. And then I saw that there was like a tree off to the side, and I was like, I really don't want to land on the trees down the bottom. So I just Superman hugged this tree, which is on footage. It's on first person, which is great. That'll be out at some point. I don't know when that'll be.
Get on it, mate. Come on.
But I hugged the crap out of that tree and then slammed me back into the tree that was on the ground. So helmet and all the pads did their job, but yeah, just me shoulder blade doesn't feel great.
No.
Doesn't feel good at all.
Yeah, the mark's lower, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's in a weird spot. I don't really.
It's more on your ribs, lower ribs.
It's like middle of my rib cage, but
Yeah.
it's like it's in a weird spot. It's like here.
Yeah.
It's like right there. But it feels like shit. But it'll make for a good video, you know.
Yeah,
Bit of crash
that's
sooner or
something you
later.
put on. Yeah. Put a bit of
It's all
sad
part of
music,
it.
bit of sad music as you're flying through the air and just in black and
Slow
white.
mode,
Yeah, yeah. Hey, slow mo makes everything look more painful.
What's that? Simon Garfunkel? Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Yes, yes.
I'll put that on. That'll be great.
All right. Well, we're at 2:55, so we'll probably wrap it up here. It's been a dope first chat. Went well over what I thought it was going to, but I guess that's what happens when shit goes well. And hopefully,
That's right, buddy. That was awesome.
hopefully this video does well. Hopefully, that's what we'll get to now. Hopefully this helps with some of your socials, and hopefully you guys follow him because it's fucking good shit. So for anyone who's trying to look up, what are they looking for? What are they looking at? What's your socials?
Yeah, it's just Charmer Films. So Charmer, Charmer, and then just Films, Films. Find me on YouTube and on Instagram. I'm on TikTok, but I don't really use it, so I wouldn't bother. Unless you want to watch that funny video again. Yeah.
So on Instagram, it's obviously Charmer_films on that one.
Charmer_films, yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause that's how Instagram works. But I
Is
it's
it on
starting to
Facebook?
come up. No, it's just Instagram and
Okay.
YouTube. Keeping it simple. I don't want to expand myself too much. Give myself too much work to do.
Well, good thing with Instagram is you can do both at the same time.
That's true. You can.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll get around to it at some point. Maybe someone will make me a fan page. Who knows? Maybe someone could do that. Maybe I'll get a Wikipedia while I'm at it.
Yeah, why not? So, if anyone's trying to buy the merch, because obviously it is good quality, just looking at the video alone, plus you can see what he's wearing. It's all light stuff, so like this is kind of heavy and rough. That looks all light and comfy, like you barely know you're wearing it, and those are the best shirts. And they're all handmade by
I got
him himself.
riding in it.
Oh, there you go. Obviously they're all handmade by himself, and they're pretty dope. So if anyone looking for that, how much are they? How can they get them?
Yeah, they're just $15 plus postage. It should be like $20 basically. $20 flat. If it's anything more than that, I'll cover it. I really don't care. So $15 if you come riding with me and I can just give it to you in person. $20 if I have to post it. Best way to do it is hit me up on Instagram. Shoot me a message and we can go from there.
Well, there you go. Well, this has been Braidan Parker. Thank you very much for being on the very first Natural Chats. This is pretty crazy. This is very much me stepping into the deep end. So appreciate you taking the time out of your night.
Nah, bro, no. I appreciate you so much, man. Bringing me on. It's been a good bloody 3 hours, bro. Wouldn't have preferred to be doing anything else tonight. This is sick.
Better than
And
editing.
I honestly do. Yeah, fuck yes, it's better than editing. Watching myself over and over, just but yeah, dude, I'm keen for the next one, honestly, and I'm keen to see what we do. I'm keen to see what you do.
Yeah, man.
Watch
Hopefully
whoever
this goes
next
well.
Guest is.
Yeah, I hope so. At this point, it'll either be Shannon Haliv, who is a small business owner who runs. I'll just fucking announce it because why not? A small coffee van owner who actually used to be in the army, who, surprisingly enough, for anyone who knows wrestling and knows my history, my former tag team partner, Combat Wombat, was in East Timor fighting the militia when I was born. So was this guy. From memory, this is what he said. That he was actually with Wombat at the time, which whether or not they were together or separate, but they were still there. He's been in the army. He's actually got some really cool stories. So yeah, I'm looking forward to him, and then eventually we'll have one of the first wrestling natural chats, which will be with fucking sort of guest because I talk about him a lot. Zach Sabbath, who is a very fucking near friend of myself. Helped me a lot this year, both mentally and with wrestling. He's who I go to with all my footage. Dude, underrated as hell. He should be getting booked fuck ton more. But yeah, that's about him. If I can talk about that one at a time. Braidan Parker, thank you very much. Everyone go follow Charmer Films. Go buy yourself a shirt because they're fucking dope. Go look at his content because it's fucking dope. And we'll see you on the next one. Braidan, thank you very much.
Buddy, I appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
I got nothing on the inside.